I'm going to have to make the chat sub only over there. Hello, Maggie. Good to see you. How are you? Kayla, happy birthday. It has been a while, Maggie. I hope everything is well. It's been a while for many folks. It has been busy, some travel, some chaos, but we're back in the fold. Obviously, I haven't gone live in a while and very focused on the YouTube. About to surpass 300,000 followers over there. Man, it's good to see everybody. Natalie and Op is in here. Good to see you, Natalie. Hope all is well. Maggie, hope you're having fun. Just saw you on YouTube. You're literally the best ever, Bella. You are the best. Mads, good to see you. I've been crucified by MAGA lately for disagreeing with Trump. Well, Natalie, it's we've been trying to tell you. Just saying. No, I know they hardcore MAGA doesn't like disagreements. Lots more thought distribution. What's the word I'm looking for on the left? Thought more. I'm losing my ability to think words. There's more. Why do I want to say thought distribution? That's like the worst way to say that. Hello, YouTube. What's going on? Alex, good to see you. I can't be conservative if I disagree with Trump. They are delusional. That's pretty effing delusional, I'm not going to lie. You will eventually be a Republican. Highly doubt that. I guess crazier things have happened, though. I mean, the President of the United States is like a convicted felon who sexually abuses women and is like corrupt, like has 2x'd his net worth by being like the most outwardly corrupt human being ever to grace higher office. That is crazier objectively than me becoming a Republican. So, well, my dad was watching you on YouTube just this morning. Matt, it's great to see you. Hope all is well. Long time no see. Thanks for being a mod. Tell your dad I love him. You heard it here first. You can tell. Cool. Okay. Okay. First of all, if I could focus, please. I'm speaking. Excuse me. Quiet. I'm speaking. Mad's dad. I love you. You're amazing. I have not been on TikTok since TikTok Live, since they introduced these new sounds, these GIFs. So if you're on YouTube and you're confused what that noise was, there's gifts now on TikTok that, like, if somebody spends, which I do appreciate the gift, truly, someone spends coins, then, like, they can play a song, and there's some songs that do some weird sounds. Just letting you know. Hello over on YouTube, Limbo, Z-Man. Hi from Denver, Betsy. Hope Denver weather is great. It's a nice time. Noodle, long time no see. All right. Am I going to see Spider-Man? Dead ass debated seeing it tonight. Got to. That's like my one and all. Like, I'm not a big movie person, but that's like my favorite series right there. Some I've watched every Spider-Man like three times over. Hello. What's up, YouTube? Let me know how the volume is, by the way. Yeah, unfortunately. I don't think YouTube can hear you.
Yeah, he would be like a water debate. His name is Donald.
Sure.
All right, let me go get him. Donald! Come debate this guy.
Fuck! What's your fuck? Ow.
Hello?
Hold on.
What's up?
What's up, Donald? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I can't even do this, bro. This is fucking stupid.
God damn it.
Yo, shout out Logic, though. That was funny. You know what? A for effort. I'm giving A for effort. Wow, dude. Are we dead ass right now on the MacBook Pro, man? I'm really going to have to replace this thing. I mean, you load up a MacBook Pro from like 4 years ago, and now it's just... All right. Whatever, dude. No, it's fine. It's fine. It sounds like I'm starting up a nuclear facility over here, but that's fine. I'm not stressed about it at all. No. My demands are very simple. Let me co-stream to YouTube and TikTok with my camera at like 120 FPS while Photoshop is open and Premiere Pro is open. Is that a high demand? Yes. But like, so is $2,000 fucking dollars for a MacBook Pro. So, whatever, dude.
Put your mouth around it. Put your mouth around it.
All right. Thank you for the gift. I just like, dude. Okay, we're gonna continue here. Hello.
Chris, what's up, bro? When are you gonna get a fucking haircut, bud?
Haircut.
I mean, that shit's growing in your ears, my guy.
Yeah, you know, left it a little long on the sides.
Do you need me to send you $20, or did your mom forget to send that this week?
Forgot to send it. The DNC should have me though. What do you like Trump? Have we talked before? You sound familiar.
Yeah, I got a bunch of clips of you crying, bro. Holy shit, bro. One clip I got of you you were talking about your whole life story about how when you were in like 3rd grade, you would cry all the time and shit. It was fucking crazy, dude. Fucking crazy, man. But yeah, your life's very interesting, Chris. Like, you don't have a job, but you just talk shit about the president every day, bro. It's just diabolical mindset, man.
I don't have a job.
Well, what do you do, Chris?
I do this.
This isn't a fucking job, my guy.
Pays the rent.
Okay, your little 400 fucking viewers, bro. We know like most of them are bot accounts. You guys buy the bot accounts to come on here and boost your fucking ego.
Okay. Why do
you really need Chris? You really need to be at the gym boosting your testosterone, my guy, because your estrogen is through the fucking roof. Bro, your estrogen is like 5x what it's supposed to be.
Right. Why do you like Trump?
Well, Chris, I like lower taxes, bro, because I run a business and you don't, dude. You don't know what paying federal income tax is.
I think I know what paying federal income tax is. And believe it or not, as somebody who I would love to have a conversation, but you got
what bracket?
So I'd love to talk about this. I will be open about this, but you've got to let me speak. Okay. I actually remember you vividly. I've had to kick you so many times because you're a little obsessed with me and other people, and that's fine.
No, I'm not.
But you gotta let me speak.
You keep muting me, bro. I'm not talking over you.
Don't
mute me, bud.
Okay, you crash out really easily. So I just need you to. We can have a conversation. So like, yeah, taxes are a bitch. I get it. Being self-employed and not having your taxes straight is a bitch. I think I paid close to 40% in the last 2 years. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, you're capping, bro. 40%?
Close to it. I think my effective tax rate was 36%.
You're capping, bro. That's not even the bracket, dude.
Wait, how? What? Please explain. How I'm capping.
the highest bracket's 35%, isn't it?
For what? I think now I think we're already. We started talking about self-employment tax.
What? Okay, so hold on. How much money did you pay last year?
First of all, I'm not interested in getting that deep into my finances, but I think if you are talking about being self-employed, I mean, depending on how your business is set up, which I need to set this up a different way, but self-employment tax, you're taxed much higher because I have to pay, as opposed to a W-2 employee who splits Social Security with the business. They may pay, I don't know I think the total's 13% or something, and 6.5% or whatever is paid by the employer, and the other 6.5% or whatever it is paid by the employee. But if you're self-employed, then you have to pay both sides of that, so your effective tax rate can become much higher.
Chris, listen, bud, you're not making no money, dude. Stop fucking lying to these people, bud.
Right. So, anyways,
you're not making nothing, dude.
Back to the discussion. If we could please get back to the discussion, like,
let me land the plane, dude.
Is it not possible to pay higher taxes and still be like not turning into a Republican?
Okay, hold on, Chris. Do you want lower taxes? Yes or no?
Can you be more specific?
Well, I mean, do you not want to pay taxes? Period.
I think that I'm not.
Hold on, bro. Let me finish, Chris.
Oh my God.
In a perfect world, bro, we wouldn't be paying any taxes. Period.
No, that's certainly not how that works.
Especially federal income taxes. What do you mean that's not how it works?
In a perfect world, do you want to be able to have roads to drive on and like police to come?
Motherfucker, that's sales tax, you idiot. That's state level.
Okay, so let's go a little broader, shall we? I was trying to speak on a basic level about taxes, but the federal
I know for sure you don't.
federal income tax is 70% of the government's revenue every single year. So, like, how are we going to fund our military? And
Yeah, bro. So, Chris, we don't have a revenue problem. We have an expenditure problem, dude. So why do you want to give the government more money, dude?
Okay, this guy is it like, Doc? Need you to just take
No, I'm just saying, Chris.
Need you to just take a deep breath. I'd love to have this conversation. But actually, you say, in a perfect world, wouldn't you love to pay lower taxes? I don't understand this conversation that people have. And everyone always says that when you get older, you'll grow out of it. And as somebody who lives on their own and makes money, again, 37% effective tax rate. It was brutal the last 2 years. What type of
You ain't paying no. You're not in the 37.
What type of delusional world?
You're not.
What type? Please stop. I'm gonna kick you if you can't do this. What type of delusional world do you live in where you believe the best case scenario is that none of us pay taxes? It's like you know what I want to do? I want to pay taxes, and I want my government to use that money effectively. Are they doing that right now? Not really. But we certainly have a debt problem. We have a deficit problem. In a perfect world, I think I'm fine with paying 35 or even 40% in taxes if that money goes to the right places.
Okay, Chris, where does most of the money go to, bud?
Well, we could go through the top expenditures if you'd like.
The Department of War, you dingaling.
That's one of them, sure.
Okay, so hold on, Chris. Give me a second, dude. I just let you monologue, okay? The whole point is, bro, is you guys all say, oh, who's going to pay for the firefighters and the cops in the roads? Motherfucker, that's state level, dude.
Okay, so you think we should pay state taxes and not federal income tax?
Yeah, I mean,
so
dude,
why do
you want to give 35% of your company away to the government, bud?
How would you get your mail delivered?
I know you're not paying that shit.
Okay, how would you get your mail delivered?
How would I get? Oh, here's what he's gonna say, everybody. Oh, we use the interstate highways. How we gonna pay for that, motherfucker, dude? It's still state level, dude.
The United States Postal Service is funded by the federal government.
Yeah, and they still can't get it right, dude. They just had that guy up in Congress, and he was laughing.
My point is that, like, do you have any other solution to, like, obviously, like, a huge portion, 70% of what the federal government does? 70% of the federal government's money comes from income tax. So do you have any way to replace, trillions of dollars every single year? I guess if our budget is, I don't know, 6 trillion or 7 trillion or something in that, maybe really closer to 7 trillion in that ballpark, and we run a $1.9 trillion deficit. Do you have any way to make up the, I don't know, off the top of my head, $4 trillion or whatever we get from income
Chris,
tax?
It's funny you guys talk about the roads.
Do you have any way to make up the money? You are so angry all the time. I'm going to give you one more.
Chris,
I'm going to give you one more chance to actually have a conversation. One more chance.
Yeah, we're having a normal conversation, Chris. Chill, bro.
You're screaming.
What I'm saying, bro, is look at the roads, dude. They're shitty. So you keep using this excuse like we need to spend money on the roads. There's potholes everywhere, dude. In every state, every interstate has problems.
So the solution is to just stop working on them altogether because they're so bad already?
No, it needs to be state funded and state level, dude, not federal. Dude, anytime the federal government takes over, Chris, they fuck up, dude. They fuck everything up, dude.
So would you be okay if we got rid of federal income tax and your state income tax went up, 300%?
Well, Florida doesn't have state tax, bud.
So let's walk through the scenario. You're in Florida.
We have sales tax.
Okay, great.
And you know how Florida makes money, Chris? You know how we make money here?
Please. Let me know.
By the tourists, bro. Okay. Do you know how much money brings in a year?
I'm sure a lot. So let's walk.
$135 billion.
So in another state like Georgia, let's say, and you're paying no federal income tax and no state income tax, like, how does anything around you get done?
You know what sales tax is, you fucking dingling?
Yeah, but sales tax is obviously not going to make up for all of the other things that we have to pay for.
Yes, dude. Listen, hold on, Chris. Yes, it does, bro.
Okay.
Yes, property taxes. What do you mean?
It literally doesn't.
Do you know what property taxes are, Chris?
And that money, it doesn't even get close. You're living in a delusional fantasy land because when somebody takes 30% of your money, you crash the fuck out. I understand being upset about the government not using your money effectively. It pisses me off too. But, like, to go down this road is just like small emotional little man talk. It's like you're so like and again, everybody told me this. You get older, you'll make money, you'll get money, and you'll get upset when you have to get it away. I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking crashing out like this guy who's like, I don't want to pay.
You don't have any money though, Chris.
Right.
You don't have any money, bro. You're not in the 35% bracket, bro. So stop fucking lying to these people, dude.
Okay,
You are
I don't-
not making over 6 figures. I know that for a fact.
I
dude.
don't think you understand how brackets work. But
Okay,
it's
so hold
fine.
on, Chris. Do you
So
make
can
six...
we have a different conversation now? Would you
Yeah,
like?
I don't
would
know
you-
how do they work,
would you-
bud. I
no.
run $1 million company. What do you run, dude?
I run $1 million company. I'm the.
What do you run, dude? You don't run
this,
nothing,
This
bro.
guy, by the way, running $1 million
You're
company.
a grifter,
He
dude.
has like 8 different TikTok accounts where he just goes into
But
each of
you're a
these lives, and just keeps doing this.
You're a grifter, bud.
Okay. Do you want to talk about something else political?
And you never went in the army, bud. You're pathetic, dude.
Okay. Do you want to talk about anything else political?
You should be in the army right now.
What's the name of your company?
Yeah, you should be in the
What's
army
the name?
right now.
What's the
Chris,
name of
getting
your?
fucking
What's the name?
doing push-ups?
What's
Hey,
the-
do push-ups for me right now,
What's
bud.
the name of your company?
Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What you need to worry about
All
is
right, let's go to the next person. This guy, and don't worry, he's gonna stay in here the entire time. He does this every single time. Jesus God. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Thanks everybody for being here. YouTube and TikTok off to a strong start. I've never had a conversation with that guy, and I've tried really hard. And also, again, think of misunderstanding tax brackets here. Like, again, really has little to do with the actual amount of income. I'm speaking more about the fact that, again, if you are self-employed and you don't handle that right, like your effective tax rate becomes much higher just off the fact that you're paying, you're just paying a much higher rate because you have to pay for Social Security and Medicare on both sides. And there's better ways to set that up. I could have done it better. But the reason I brought that example up is because the IRS is a bitch, and I get it. But, like, I don't know. I don't understand people who live in this weird world where they're like, you want to give more money? Like, just immediate, wow, you want to give more money? It's like, no, I don't want to give more money to the government. But why are you over here, like, assuming we can live in a world where there's no... If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Only looking for Trump supporters. I'm self-employed, and you are right. Junk. Shout out to you. It's not great. Sam is... Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. How old are you?
24.
Okay. Are you a Trump supporter?
You gonna finger my ass about it or something?
All right. Well, that was great.
I love you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You know
I
what?
promise
That
I'm
one was
not.
actually creative enough to be funny. Sam, I love you. That was crazy. Sam, I appreciate you being I appreciate you being supportive. Seriously, it's kind of a weird thing to say after someone comes up in your live and says something like that. But whatever. Look, Leonardo running his $1 million company. He's so busy that he's still in my guest requests on a Thursday night. Don't you have a company to run? If you are a Trump supporter, let me know. Hello.
Yep. Yep.
Hi. How old are you?
I'm 19. I can't lie, I was gonna troll, but I kind of feel bad now.
Damn. After somebody said, like, I'm going to stick a finger in your ass. Well, that's fair. That's fair, Vic.
Okay, I didn't even hear that part. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was crazy.
But-
Vic, I appreciate you being so supportive. I love you. You're the best. Thank you. Truly, I hate. Like, I want to be the guy, and I used to do this. I want to sit and talk to every person I do. I don't just want to, like, automatically kick when someone's like, I'm not MAGA. But it is late, and I'm trying to give the people what they want. I'm trying to get a couple debates. If there are any MAGA supporters left on this planet, I don't know that there are. I mean, his approval rating is lower than it's ever been. I mean, what are we? We're kind of, it's hard to find these days. Hello. Company does not exist. Andy, you're absolutely right. Also, by the way, over on YouTube, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. You're so kind. Pipe down at Fox Breath. Here's a few bucks for spreading the truth. Yo, Andy's calling this guy. Yo, W's Andy in the chat also saying what company doesn't exist. Andy, I love you. I really appreciate that level of support. Seriously, never ever take it for granted. Can you get some W's in the chat for Andy? I appreciate you. John, hello. How old are you?
I'm 16.
You're 16 years old?
Yeah, I was low-key.
All right, bro. Nah, you got to be 18 to join TikTok Live. How are you going to be 16 years old? Did his profile picture have a Trump shirt on? Bro. Chris, when did your hair turn brunette? Dude, my hair has always been this color, chat. I don't know why people think my hair... It's fine. It's fine. I'm not crashing out. I'm not crashing out. He said 60? I don't think he said 60. If you're 16, that means you were born in 2010? Fuck. That means you're a class of what? 20 math. If you're like 16, you're like what, a sophomore in high school? Or maybe a junior. Let's say you're a sophomore, so you have 2, so it's 20, you're like class of 28. Oh my good God. I'm not liking it, man. I'm not liking it. Everyone tell Chris he looks more ginger. I'm not ginger. Hello.
Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Good. How old are you?
Wait, please. Wait.
No, guys. Listen, my account can get mega nuked. All right, you have to be 18 to join TikTok Live, folks. Holy smokes, dude. What is going on? Guys, I suspect this is an epidemic occurring. Okay, I've gone through people on TikTok live. I've seen Dean live. I've seen Parker live. I go through some of the people in the comments. I say, wow, guys, I'm supportive of young people in politics. I am, but what's going on, guys? What's going on? Gotta be 18 or 20. Go to bed, child. All right, Nina.
Hi.
Nina, why don't you come up here and talk to me? Hello? How old are you?
18.
What year were you born?
2008?
You said the year you were born with like as if you were asking a question, or as if you didn't know the answer.
Okay, well, sorry, I was not expecting to be accepted.
2008? Chat, I don't know, chat. Okay, do you support Trump?
Well, yeah, I voted for him.
What month were you born?
Bruh. April.
Wait, so then you couldn't have voted for Trump.
What do you mean?
Wait. If you're 18 right now and you voted for Donald Trump in 2024? When you were 16 years old? Man, y'all have got to. First of all, the fact that I didn't clock that like fucking 30 seconds ago was wild. Got to be 18 to join TikTok live. It's probably because like I don't even know what year it is anymore, dude. This administration has felt like it's fucking decades long. By the way, someone in the comments, we have all these people in the comments talking shit, and then I request them, I let them up, or excuse me, I invite them. They don't come up. Thanks everybody for being here. Do me a favor, double tap the screen, share live out, helps get it out. I love all of you. Hello, how old are you?
18.
What's up?
18.
What year were you born?
2007. I'm 19 and like 18 days.
Doc, okay. You can't change your dude. Guys, what is happening? Oh my goodness, man. Hello?
We are Charlie Kirk. Okay, sorry. I'll leave.
Bro, what the? I was trying to give you. I thought you were going to like continue. Oh man, all right. Well, I got a lot of people in the request though. Good to. Oh my God, no way, dude. Is this who I think it is? Hello? Hello? Bro, this guy is like literally like he set his phone down and then he ran like down the block. Hello? All right, Josh is not doing well. It's not don't say sorry, Amelia. It's okay. I thought it was funny. All right. If only looking for Trump supporters, if you're 18 years old, let me know. Or Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That's not what I meant to say, dude. Fuck. If you are, you have to be, I'm sorry. What I meant to say was if you're MAGA, let me know. You have to be at least 18 years old to join TikTok Live. And I'm only looking for Trump supporters at the moment. Fuck. I did not mean to say that, Chad. Dude, I'm crashing out. I can't even talk to Trump supporter. I'm crashing out. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm 51 years old, born June 23rd, 1975, and I'm an Army veteran.
Amazing. I appreciate your service.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question, the same question I asked Dean and I forget who else
Parker.
today. Parker, thank you. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I asked them both. They were both in the room at the same time. I asked them this question I want to ask you.
I know what they're doing. That's funny. Okay.
Okay, so if you believe that conception or life doesn't start, no, don't crash, just give me an opportunity. I'm not one of those crazies. Okay, so if you believe that human life starts, not at conception, then you must believe that a woman who is unalived during that time could not be possibly double murder, right?
Okay, two things. Number one, I do believe that life starts at conception. I just don't believe that valuable life starts at conception. And number two, I think that if I think the issue is I'm forgetting the word off the top of my head, but the issue is as opposed to a woman getting an abortion, let's say at the 6 week mark for whatever reason under her own volition is different than that's her choice to make, as opposed to if she got into a car accident, somebody else is taking away that choice from her and effectively taking away the choice from her, which I think would qualify. I don't know the exact week mark, but would qualify for a conversation about a double homicide. The issue is who the ability to make the decision on your own bodily autonomy.
I would say that it's fair to say that a woman should have the rights to her own body, right? Just my religious beliefs don't believe in abortion, and I mean you got to respect that. But I do believe women should have rights at the same time, right? So I'm kind of conflicted there. But I will tell you this: I've been watching a lot of Dean lately, and because of the things that he said lately, I did change from being a Trump supporter to not being a Trump supporter.
But
I will say that I voted for him the first time around because to me at the time it was the lesser of two evils, right? But come to find out, Trump was controlling all of the media, calling certain parts that didn't agree with him fake. I went back and did all my research after listening to Dean, right? And found out that we were misled. So I will say that I'm no longer a Trump supporter. But because of my religious beliefs, I'm a Christian. I don't believe in abortion, but I believe women should have rights. I'm conflicted. You see what I'm saying, though?
Got it. No, I do. Well, first of all, I'm glad that I know changing your political beliefs in any direction is difficult. I will say this, and then I'm going to, because genuinely, again, I'm very I'm glad that you went back and you're like, you know what, I no longer support Trump, and I respect you still trying to figure other things out about your political beliefs. I certainly respect the religious aspect. I'll say one thing and then I'll cycle to the next person, which is this. And you can think on this. I don't know that Dean or Parker, I think this is the way my brain thinks. I think it's possible for you to say that you do not believe morally in abortion.
Fair enough.
And you could also say that you could spend your time, if you wanted, advocating or doing work privately around that. I think it's possible to say that while also believing the government, because of how society is, and because how government interacts with private citizens is difficult, that it still isn't the government's role to regulate something like that.
No, I do not believe that the government should have the right to tell women what to do whatsoever. It only boils down to moralistically my religious beliefs.
Then I think
but I really appreciate you, Chris, and I appreciate Parker and I appreciate Dean, because I haven't been lashing out against them. That's not the way to do it, right? Listen and you will learn. That's how I came about the things I came about, and then go do your research after listening, and that's how I came to the conclusion I came to. Donald Trump is a self-serving celebrity movie star who wants to take the stage at all times, and he even wants to do a third term, which God, I hope he doesn't. But we don't need that. We need people who are realistic and is about the people in the White House. And I know you have to kick me because you want to debate, but there needs to be some good news put out there that people are changing, people are listening to you.
You know what? That was really. I'm gonna drop you a follow. That was very inspiring, and also something that I needed to hear tonight. Always listen first. Always be open to changing your views, and I'm proud of you, and I appreciate you a lot. Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And being a veteran, it's very important to listen to everything that people have to say, because I served the people by being a veteran. So. Chris, thank you so much. I know you need to debate somebody else, but I really, really appreciate it.
Of course, you're welcome back anytime. Drop you a follow, and thank you for your service. Truly, I appreciate it.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Man, W that guy. W that guy. Yo, chat. Dubs? My tongue is turning yellow because of my gum. It's the end of the world. All right. Looking for Trump supporters, only MAGA. I love all of you. You guys are the best. Noodle, good to see you, by the way. Good to see you. Who do I plan on voting for in 28? I have no idea. There's going to be 25 people, I think. There are 25 people actively considering running for president. I have a list if you'd like to hear. I made it myself. This list that I made, and then we're going to let up a Trump supporter. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a Trump supporter. You can request up here on TikTok, double tap screen. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor, click like on this. I really appreciate everybody being here. It truly means the world. The list I'm about to read is going to make people angry, okay? It's going to make people angry, and here's why it's going to make people angry, because you're going to hear someone and you're going to say, oh, fuck that person, which there may be one person. There is certainly, I know several on here that I'd say that about. But also you're going to hear this list and you're going to be angry because you're going to go, they're not running for president. Okay. The qualification to be on this list that I have created, is either you are currently actively considering running for president, or if you are not considering running for president, somebody in your inner circle is telling you or has told you you should consider running for president. Here we go. Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, Pete Buttigieg, Gretchen Whitmer, Andy Beshear, Josh Shapiro, Cory Booker, Wes Moore, Ruben Gallego, Mark Kelly, Chris Murphy, AOC, Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Kathy Hochul, Michelle Obama, James Tallarico, Rahm Emanuel, Ro Khanna, Jon Stewart, and Jon Ossoff. That is the current list. Take it how you wish. I think there will be at least 15 different people who announce their candidacy. It will get crazy in 28, dude. The knives are coming out to play, man. Politics is an ugly game. Stephen A. Smith. Do I have that? Fuck, maybe I just added one. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. There will be at least 10 more. Definitely a possibility. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Hello.
Hello, Chris. It's nice to see you.
Hello. It's nice to see you, too.
So here's my only contention. I don't support Trump. However, I do support ICE. Can we debate ICE?
What about ICE?
So I do agree that there should be a reform in the hiring process and the qualifications needed, but I do believe that ICE is essential for American citizen safety, and I do believe in mass deportation.
Okay, quickly, just one question. Why do you support mass deportation?
I support mass deportation because I think it goes along with the safety of our own American citizens. I can understand that the crime rate that illegal immigrants have might not be at a high rate, but I don't believe they should have a crime rate to begin with, because I also don't believe they should be in the country to begin with.
Do you see the potential ramifications of like a mass deportation program? First I'm going to start here because I think this is normally where I start with MAGA. Like, I think my main problem with the mass deportation issue is moral, but I think that there's a huge problem with it also economically.
Okay. What do you think's wrong economically?
Sure. I think that, and I know that most people want to say something along the lines of Democrats just want to import cheap labor and all this stuff. It has nothing to do with that. I think it has everything to do with the fact that as reality stands, we have a real labor shortage problem. And as of, an aging population, and as of 2020, boomers started retiring, or in 2020, excuse me, boomers started retiring at a rate of 2 to 1 compared to the average new worker entering the workforce. I'm going to mute you for a second just because you're echoing a bit. In 2020, boomers started entering the workforce at a rate of 2 to 1 compared to the average, boomers started retiring at a rate of 2 to 1 compared to as opposed to someone entering the workforce, and has been cited economically many times. One of the main reasons we actually bounced back, I think, from COVID so quickly was a lot of immigration, both documented and undocumented, that offset the economic challenges from that labor shortage. And I say this on live all the time, there is not enough native-born Americans to work every single job. There is just not enough working people. Our population is getting older. The birth rate has declined, et cetera. The answer to this is not like letting everybody in the country, but the reality is that right now, if you were to carry out a huge mass deportation program, where you're deporting a lot of people, ripping away potentially like legal status. People are like pending legal status, so they have legal status. You're ripping away that. Like it is. I think just a fact that economically things would get very ugly. U.S. businesses would close, which would cause U.S. Americans to lose their jobs, and it would be an economic disaster. So, I think that if you don't care about the moral standpoint, I'm not saying you do, that's how you feel. I'm just saying generally, I know like that's how a lot of MAGA sometimes can come at it, where they're like, I don't care about the moral. Like economically, it would be very bad. And so if you don't care about the moral at all, then the answer should be that you're going to have to, have a huge reform on immigration, start giving people, I don't know, some pathway to citizenship, even if you were to say they should be, I don't know. I've heard Democrats say that they'd be in support of or Republicans say that they'd be in support of a path to citizenship if there was some penalties. In a compromise situation, I'd be accepting of that. And then after that, you have to figure out, how to, after, let's say we've, reformed the issues at the border or reformed immigration as a whole, you've got to figure out how to push American citizens to have children. So I think that's the economics piece of that.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely see, that there are definitely problems with it economically, and there definitely is a problem with our own citizens that are, too lazy to get up and actually do work. But I definitely think that, and I also think that there should be programs so it could be easier for these people to get in. But I think that doesn't really defend the, we'll let, a few people in and see how we can utilize them here, there, this or that, because I also feel like we really don't know a lot about these people. We know like the surface of who these people are. We don't know what they've done in the countries that they have been in the past. We don't know how they conduct themselves. I mean, we don't have them documented, right? So I don't think I can understand. Yeah, that could definitely contribute a lot of labor, but I still don't think that I would value our economy over our own American citizens and our safety.
Sure.
Sorry. My bad.
Sorry. No,
I was just going to finish off with what these people could possibly do.
Yeah. I understand that. So I think, but that's why I think it's possible to say, you know what, I'm concerned about making sure, I think it's possible, and I'm not saying this is my position, but if I was, let's say, in your shoes, I think it's possible to say that I am concerned about the people who are in this country and, are not documented, while also saying that a mass deportation program would be damaging both morally and economically. So, doesn't mean we have to, quote, let people in the country or people who, let's say, are undocumented, that they just get, forever are undocumented. It may mean the answer is supporting some form of doing something about it, trying to advocate that they get push for a path to citizenship with heavy penalties, or some version of, I don't know, deportations that aren't super aggressively evil.
Yeah, and I understand. I definitely think, we should go about the way that we deport illegal immigrants, a lot safer and a lot easier. And I can definitely see where you're coming from. And I understand. Yeah, I do agree that there should be more resources for these people to come in. But not once again, but we do have resources for these people to get in. I understand it is hard to get into an asylum if you apply for it, and that should definitely be reformed as well. But we still do have these processes, right? Instead of moving irrationally and breaking an international crime just to come into our country and possibly contribute labor when we still don't really know who you are, I don't think that's a good justification just because it might be good for our economy.
Sure. I think so much of that answer has to come down to we have to reform our immigration system. Sorry. It's been broken for fucking, 3 decades. And so you and I might disagree about how to get there, but Donald Trump has control. I know you said you aren't supporting Donald Trump, but Donald Trump has had control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and he has shown no interest in passing a reform bill for the border. And I think that it's a politically difficult thing, especially for Democrats. I know Joe Biden was almost got one passed, but that certainly needs to be step number one. I think, and any reform to an immigration system that is broken, where you can compromise and come together and say, you know what, we can increase security at the border while also, it doesn't take 10 years to get in the United States. We can approve or deny visas faster. I want more legal rights for unaccompanied minors, et cetera. And then that will make the conversation, I think, far clearer about people in our country and moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. I think one thing I'm very, supportive of is legal immigration. I think definitely if it was an easier process, I'd be, a lot more supportive of these people. Yeah, I think it just comes down to, like one bad apple ruined the entire batch. I mean, it's just, yeah, I understand. Like you said that we have common ground, and I just want to like kind of give you kind of a thought process of how I'm thinking here. It's just kind of like as we've seen with, I'll give you like 3 examples: Lincoln Riley, Ruby Garcia, Kayla Hamilton, like our own people being hurt. I understand that these people, that we as Americans commit more crimes than illegal immigrants and stuff like that. But I think that we still should be a little strict with our process, just because we don't really want our sacred citizens to be harmed and possibly killed and things like I'm sorry, unalived, and like things like that. But I definitely understand where you're coming from with this, and yeah, I think that if we have a program where they can apply for work and then get here legally, but they have like a good past record that we can go and track by, yeah, I think that'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense, and I think like a lot of the again, like how I'd respond to some of the situations you mentioned is like, yeah, those, if we had some immigration reform, even if you and I have disagreements about what it looks like, the people who shouldn't be in the country wouldn't be in the country, and that's something that's needed to be done for 25 years. So I hear it.
All right, well, it was good talking to you.
Yeah. Thanks for the conversation, man. I appreciate it a lot.
Of course. All right, well, thank you for letting me up. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Be safe. I think that might have been Braylon. I've actually seen that dude before. I recognize the profile picture. Maybe, does he post videos? Maybe. What do I think of Mom Donnie? I like Mom Donnie. Mom Donske. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Double tap the screen. Begging, let me in. All right. That should go well, chat. Hello.
Hello.
What's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Are you a Trump supporter?
You could say that.
I mean,
what's it to you, numbnuts?
Numbnuts. I mean, do you support him or do you like not support him?
I have strong beliefs to him.
Okay. Why do you like him?
Well, for one, the Fortnite Battle Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 150 people has been in office.
Yo, Fortnite Battle Pass going down is good, I will say. But also, you need to use the money you save for new internet. He stole that from Harry. Jack Bauer's mom, literally thinking the same thing. Also, great to see you. W's Jack Bauer's mom in the chat. Okay, if you're a Trump supporter, let me know. I will bring you up here. Only looking for Trump supporters. Man, it's hard to find them these days. And I get it, his approval rating's lower than ever. But I remember, you can tell culturally when is it, like, before the numbers come out, you can, like, see it via stuff like this. Like, I used to, every day, you'd be able to find people, and now it's just, like, it's just impossible. Hello?
So you think Trump is worse than Andrew Jackson?
Well, let's take a timeout. Do you support Donald Trump?
Nah.
Okay, so who'd you vote for?
I didn't vote. I was too young.
How old are you now?
Now I'm 20.
Okay, fantastic. To quickly answer your question, yeah, look, I think that as I've said many times, I think that there's an argument to be made, a moral argument about Chris. Is Donald Trump really worse than the guy who, did the Trail of Tears? A lot of presidents own slaves. George Washington is considered one of the best presidents, and his bottom teeth were made of slave teeth. Abraham Lincoln is considered one of the greatest presidents, and he believed that at least for up until the very end of the war, he believed that the answer was to take a bunch of black people and ship them back on boats. So there's a objective moral argument. I'm not well versed enough to have it, nor do I care. I think that it's clear to me that Donald Trump is certainly by far the most selfish president to ever exist. He cares far more about himself than anyone else, and I think the damage that he's done at this point certainly put him, bottom 3.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Thanks. If you are a Trump supporter, let me know. Look, I get the argument. I get it. I just don't care enough to have an objective moral argument. I don't know. People want to go down that road. I don't know. Is Trump is like George Washington better than Lincoln? Or Jesus Christ. Is George Washington better? Is Donald Trump better than George Washington because George Washington's bottom teeth were slave teeth because he owned slaves? I have no idea. All right, I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, I think I'm not. Let me rephrase that. Actually, I'm not well versed enough to have that conversation. I don't care. Not my lane. Let's not spam, Chris. All right, let's not do that. Why are we spamming? Why are we spamming? Why are we spamming? Hello?
Gen Z, take a step back for one.
All right, he was playing my video. I just immediately like kicked him though because like I don't like when people spam my chat. Hello.
Hello.
What's up? How old are you?
21.
Okay. Do you like Trump?
Sort of.
Why sort
of? I came up here not to talk about Trump specifically.
As most MAGA does these days.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with like college, where the state of college sports is right now?
Generally. Sure.
Do you know about the Save the College Sports Act that's getting ready to come out, or that's going through Congress right now?
I'm not familiar.
You're not familiar? Okay. So it's basically saying or trying to limit and prevent NIL for college athletes.
Okay.
Which is name, image, and likeness, which athletes can profit off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it's to a point where schools are paying, just like straight paying players as employees at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you support that?
Well, look, I mean, I'll say this quickly. As a college football fan, I watch a lot of sports. I mean, I think it objectively, the sport has gotten worse because of NIL stuff. Although a lot of this stuff was happening beforehand. I mean, dudes were getting paid, $500,000 a year to stay at certain programs. It was obviously just behind the table stuff. I mean, Nick Saban, when Nick Saban was coaching Alabama, and owns Dodge dealerships, and it just happens to be that every Alabama player drives a fully loaded Dodge Hellcat. It's all right, we know what's going on, but I think it being so out in the open, it ruins the integrity of it. Kind of has made the sport worse. However, I do not believe that has any. I don't think the government should get involved at all with college football. I think college football themselves can figure that out. As a supporter generally of big government, I don't think the government should be involving themselves on this issue. I think that's an overstep.
Well, it is illegal. It is a federal issue because it was NIL is a federal thing that got passed in the early 2020s. So it has to go through Congress to get.
So the argument for banning it is
to get limited.
So then the argument for the
I mean, I don't think they should be paid because these are students. Education should still matter at this point. And if they're going just to get paid, they're not really caring about their academics. And studies and research has shown that GPAs have gone down from D1 student athletes, especially in football and basketball, over the past 5 years. So, I mean, that's just why I think it should be limited. But
I think there's certainly an argument there. I'd have to think more about it.
So you don't think so you don't really care about the law or the act specifically?
I have not thought much about it, to be honest with you. I'd have to do more research.
Okay.
But I do appreciate you, and I
appreciate you.
Yeah, and I will do that research.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming up. W's Bama. I appreciate the passion on a topic like that. I didn't even know that act existed. W's to that guy. I mean, I don't know, dude. Pay the college athletes, bro. If they want to. I mean, kids were getting background deals all the time. If you're a star player, you were getting paid $300,000 from some fucking school to go, play for a year or whatever. Whatever, dude. It just is what it is. Now it's just out in the open. Kids have fully loaded BMWs. Does it hurt their academics? Yeah, but what the fuck? If I was 17 years old and I was a fucking phenom and the University of Alabama was we'll give you $500K and a fucking loaded Beamer. focus on academics. How about I throw that 500K in the S&P 500? I don't need no academic. Sorry. Hello.
Yo.
What's up? You commented Kamala would be worse.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I'm
not a Trump
sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm not a Trump supporter whatsoever, but I would say that if you are, telling us that Trump is the worst president ever, I would one up you and tell you Kamala would be even worse. And I don't really see how you can say Trump is the worst president ever when he was elected solely on the fact that his opponent was so awful that it brought a lot of Democrats and people who were right down the middle to the right, because the alternative was, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz presidency.
Wow, that was like one of the dumbest things I've ever had the misfortune of listening to.
I mean, Kamala's going to run again, bro. So if Kamala's going to run again, you're just going to hand the presidency to the right side again. I mean, that's something you're cool with?
I first of all, I think it's just like a brutal miscalculation to believe that Donald Trump won because of like Kamala Harris being a bad candidate. Let's try again.
Bro, Joe Biden beat him. You know what I mean? Like, there was a bag of bones that ran against him.
Yeah, and I think that Kamala Harris faced a particular uphill battle with, I don't know, the economy and the border, things that, like obviously played far more of a role than herself as like a candidate. I think she was a great candidate.
I mean, those were things she was like directly responsible for as the vice president.
If you're dumb, you think that, yes, but I just like that's.
I mean, she was the one who was in charge of the border situation.
Again, like
this, would go down to the
just
south,
like dude, literally, this is what we do. We take like a big. You ever seen this meme? Just like take the big straw and just slurp like the Russian propaganda, the misinformation, just straight to the dome piece, dude. She was not in charge of the border. This is just like a straight lie that Donald Trump perpetrated over and over and over again. So
Biden was the one who was going down there to the border and making decisions.
Jesus Christ, Kamala Harris's role at the border was she did one thing, and that related to bringing some amount of private economic success to a specific set, the triangle countries, which I can't remember off the top of my head now. Basically, her role was trying to increase the economic output of certain countries who had a high rate of people coming to the United States from those countries. So if the United States was investing in those places and trying to help their economies, people might feel less of a burden to come to the United States. And she had some success in that. But that was her only role in relation to immigration. She had zero role at the border. Zero.
Well, we can agree to disagree on that, but like,
no. There is no. We're not. Stop. We're not going to put that to the side. It's not agree to disagree. It's like this is like you saying 2 + 2 is 5, and me saying 2 + 2 is 4, and you being like agree to disagree. That's not how that works. Right? Do you have any evidence do you have anything to actually suggest the fact that she had any role at the border whatsoever? Like, I'm sorry I'm being a dick. I know I'm being a dick, but come on, dude. This is like, how are you watching an economy in free fall, a war in Iran, and all this shit, and you're still coming to the conclusion that Kamala Harris would have been worse? That is crazy. I invited you to unmute your mic. I think you just got to click the little unmute button.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, of course, you're right about the Iran war. Whatever Trump is doing with his decisions with pro-Israel and bombing Iran is wrong. But you think Kamala Harris would have made a separate decision? She's been a hypocrite and a grifter her entire political career, bro. She's been flip-flopping her stance the entire time. Biden and the Biden administration was pro-Israel the entire time they were in office. Yeah. Now she wants to say that she's anti-Israel, she's anti-war in Iran. She would have made the same exact decisions that Trump's doing, and they're both evil.
That's lacking so much nuance. That is so shallow. There's zero chance that Kamala Harris would have engaged in a war with Iran. And there's a reason, actually. I think you can have some evidence against this, which is that the administration she was a part of, Bibi Netanyahu, said the same thing to that administration about getting into a war in Iran. And you know what Joe Biden did? Joe Biden said, go fuck yourself. You know what Obama said? Go fuck yourself. Donald Trump is the only president in modern American history who is bit on Bibi Netanyahu's claims as he's tried this over and over again. Everybody knew, and I think Kamala said herself later on, but I think that this was generally known. I think she could have done a better job communicating this. That's a different issue. That she was she certainly one of the ways she differed from Biden was Israel. And so like there's literally zero chance that Kamala Harris would have engaged in a war with Iran. I don't believe that.
You're right. Obama said, "Go fuck yourself" to Netanyahu, but you just contradicted yourself. You said Biden said that to him. Biden and Biden's administration was pro-Israel the entire time.
Yeah, but again, that's why I said you're lacking an incredible amount of nuance in foreign policy, which is the most complex subject possibly on planet Earth.
When Harris is a part of an administration,
yeah, but I said no. She's not. First of all, no. First of all,
about like drug policy.
First of all, hold on. First of all, no, it's not. And second of all, really quickly, like I said that Biden said, "Go fuck yourself" to Netanyahu about a war in Iran. And I think generally the Biden administration was pro-Israel, but you're lacking like the foreign policy is incredibly complex. Biden hated Netanyahu. He screamed at Netanyahu all the time. Quote, as I quoted, at the end of his administration, "Bibi, you're a fucking liar. Why do you always lie to me?" Did he handle Gaza correctly? No. I think I've said that it will. I like Joe Biden a lot, but it will remain his greatest stain on his presidency. But like again, there's an incredible amount of nuance there, and so we know that Bibi tried, just like he did with Donald Trump, to pull him in a war with Iran, and Biden said no, and Trump said yes.
I mean, it is the biggest what if because she didn't win the presidency. We don't know how she would have responded in the same circumstances that Trump did. But
I mean, you're the one who made the claim.
The reality is that she's probably the favorite to run in 2028 for the Democratic Party.
I mean, there's
Does
20.
That not scare you as a Democrat that that's just going to hand the presidency to the right?
There's 20 people at least running for president in 2028. I mean,
Harris is the odds-on favorite right now. The Harris AOC ticket is probably. I mean, obviously we don't know. We're 2 years away, but the Harris AOC is the betting favorite right now to be the Democratic ticket in 2028. Does that not scare you?
No. I think that there's a
lot.
It
doesn't scare you?
No, I think there's a lot of great candidates. Kamala Harris is one of them.
So if you were in charge of the Democratic Party, who would you want as the ticket for?
Why like these people are so? This is fucking delusional stuff. If you were in charge of the Democratic Party, who would you want? Again, the voters will the people who are part of the Democratic Party, will decide who the nominee is. This has nothing to do.
I'm saying, what's your personal opinion?
I have no idea. We're 2 years away, and there's 25 people running. I don't know.
Do you believe that Kamala Harris is the most fit candidate to lead the Democratic Party?
I don't know.
Or in 2028?
I don't know. There's a lot of candidates I potentially like in 2028.
Okay. Well, my entire stance is just that Kamala Harris is the exact wrong person to lead this country.
What do you think of AOC?
Trump is bad. Kamala Harris would be worse. That's the hill I'm willing to die on. If you're not going to give me any information on who you think would be better or if you think she would be the best, we're not really going to have a clear conversation.
Well, the conversation started with you saying that even though I don't like Trump, did you vote for Trump?
No.
Okay. So even though the conversation started with I don't like Trump, your claim up here has been that Kamala Harris would be worse. That has nothing to do with 2028. I'll get again, I don't know what you want me to tell you about 2028. I can't create information out of thin air. If you're a reasonable, logical person, you say 2028 is so far away, and I don't know.
I'm a reasonable, logical.
There's 20. There's literally going to be.
On who you want to.
There's literally going to
party in 2028, and you won't answer that question,
buddy. I just told you there's going to be 20 people running for president. I have no idea who.
I'm saying I personally can tell you I want Andrew Yang to be.
Oh my fucking God.
Party.
Okay,
but
well you're a god.
Unrealistic. You know
yeah, of course that's unrealistic. That's fucking delusional. Yeah. So we have. Look, how about this?
I wouldn't mind Buttigieg. I wouldn't mind Bernie Sanders, but Kamala Harris is going to run the party into the ground.
I'm sorry. Let's go back a second. You wouldn't mind Bernie Sanders.
And I wouldn't mind Pete Buttigieg.
Right. So let's no. Let's say I want to take a timeout. I want to take a timeout on a potential logical contradiction. Kamala Harris is apparently such a bad candidate. Even Joe Biden, a quote bucket of bones at the time, could beat Donald Trump. But you want 90-year-old Bernie Sanders to run for president in 20. So at the time, he'll be 91 or something. You want him to run for president and be president when he's 96? That wouldn't throw away the country. That's not a bucket of bones.
I'm saying that he is still a better candidate than Kamala Harris.
What is so bad about Kamala Harris?
It's not saying that he's so much better. It's
what is so bad about Kamala Harris? I don't understand.
Like I said, she's been a hypocrite and a grifter her entire political career. She's flip-flopped on every single policy she's ever stood for.
From the
beginning, from her time as a prosecutor.
Can you expand on that?
She was putting minorities, people of color in jail.
Let's take a timeout right there. We're already off to your brain.
A little bit of pot.
Your brain is full of rampant as someone who doesn't like Donald Trump, you let a lot of Donald Trump's rhetoric just straight into your dome piece. Your first example.
It's the truth.
It's not. It's not.
She was known as a
Okay.
a hard on drug
So
prosecutor.
so
She was
let's
putting
so let's start.
specifically
Let's
minorities and people of
right.
color
So let's
in jail
let's.
for low.
Can I call timeout? What year was that?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
What year was that?
It was 15, 20 years ago, of course, but is that not
Fantastic.
part of her history?
No, but here's the problem: is that like again, what is the role of a prosecutor? What does a prosecutor do?
To keep the community safe from criminals.
Try again.
Not to
Try.
overly
No,
prosecute people.
shut the fuck up. This is like blatant, rampant stupidity and misinformation. Try again. What is the role of a prosecutor? Okay, because it's not to keep the community safe. A role is to prosecute. A role of prosecutors to prosecute crimes, the crimes that are on the books. Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, I think that at that time, Kamala Harris would have been considered one of the most progressive prosecutors. And then prosecutors in the country. I think that obviously the progressive back then is different than progressive now. But number two is like, whether you're a DA or a prosecutor or whatever, like your role is to follow the law, whether you agree with the law or not. So I do not want a prosecutor who's saying, I am looking at the laws on the books. And obviously the prosecutors have a lot of a leeway here. There's a lot of, I'm forgetting the word, but, you know, an ability to say, you know what, I'm not comfortable pursuing this crime as heavily or these crimes as heavily, or we're not going to enforce these things as heavily. Sure, of course. But to suggest that like Kamala Harris as a prosecutor should be the one saying, you know what, I don't think that I should follow the laws on the books that are in front of me and charge people with those crimes because I don't feel like it, is not her job. That's not her job.
That's not what we're talking about. But she was one of the most aggressive prosecutors.
No, she was not. That is absurd. That is just. Do you have any evidence of that? Do you have any evidence of that?
Her entire prosecutorial career
that
she was built on her being an aggressive prosecutor and trying to get a high conviction rate on people for low-income people specifically.
That's just
small amounts of drug possession.
That's just not true.
That's how she came up.
Okay, it's just not true. Like if you want to pull something,
besides the fact of her,
and I'm 6'8" and I play for the Lakers and the sky is green. That's just not true. Like if you want to provide some other information about that besides your feelings, you're more than welcome to. But like, I'm just.
I mean, you're the only one who's talking about feelings right now, right? You've been getting emotional the entire time when I've been trying to explain to you simply my position, my stance.
Okay, but your stance is based on a bunch of feelings that you feel like she was at the time.
No, those are facts, bro. That's how she made a living. That's how she got into politics, by being one of the most aggressive prosecutors in California.
Right, so that part, the most aggressive prosecutor in California history, right? You got anything else to back that up besides just going on and on about the role of like not understanding the basics of what a prosecutor does? Because like you're telling me, oh, she went after people for crimes they committed. Yeah, I mean, that's what a prosecutor does. She doesn't get to say, it's not her role to say whether she liked crimes or not. Why do people this is just like absurd to me sometimes, dude. And I also just think like 20 years ago, the definition of a progressive prosecutor, like if Kamala Harris wouldn't have a career at all if she was applying the same policies we apply today 30 years ago in California. They would have booted her the fuck out. So like,
where are you getting that from? She would have been booted out because of what?
I'm just referencing like how being progressive has changed over time. So
I mean, if she followed the same policy she did 20 years ago in California, she'd be booted out because California's become much more progressive than that. Correct, but you just said we can't talk about 20 years versus now. So
I didn't say we can't talk about it. I just said that when you look at something like her doing her job as a prosecutor and saying, wow, she was really hard on these cases, I think it's really important to mention that 20 years ago, our criminal justice system was significantly different than it is now. I think her understanding
True, but the problem is she's been hypocritical about everything she's done in her past and now tried to flip that to pander to people that are aligned with the Democratic Party to make herself look better. Like her talking about she likes to smoke weed to take a load off and giggling and laughing about it when she's put so many people in jail for that. It's very hypocritical and it makes her extremely unlikable to almost everybody who has any form of common sense.
Do you have like any other disagreements with Kamala Harris?
As far as her policies, I've told you everything I've disagreed with.
So you actually literally mentioned one thing, which is her time as a prosecutor 30 years ago. The reason I mentioned this,
we talked about her border policies earlier. We've talked about her stance on
so
Israel. The biggest thing is that she just flip flops every time. She can't stand on one principle. She goes to
the border policy you just again made up in your head. Like it's just like she had no role at the border. It doesn't exist. I promise you. fucking her only role in immigration was helping to increase economic activity in certain countries. Trump labeled her the border czar because it was helpful for him politically, and you ate that shit up. So be it. But
I
like,
ate what shit up? I'm not a Trump supporter.
yeah, but you ate up the misinformation from Donald Trump.
That's not misinformation. It's true. If you don't like the facts,
It's
that's
not
your
true.
feelings,
It
but
is
it's
not.
the
It
truth.
is not true. Do you have go? I will wait here. Why don't you go pull up literally anything that shows me that Kamala Harris had any role at on the border?
If I close the tab, it'll make me leave the live. So
No,
I
no,
can't
no,
go
no.
and
That's not
start looking
true.
things
That's
up.
not true. If you swipe out, I won't be able to hear you. But we'll wait. When you come back, you'll still be here.
Either way.
No, not either way. No. Because what I'm not going to do is have you sit here and go, oh, it's just your feel. It's just you're just in your feels. It's facts. It's not. It's not. I will Venmo you $1,000 right now. I swear to God. I will Venmo you $1,000. If you swipe out of this app, I'll wait for you. And you find me even a single shred of evidence that Kamala Harris had any role at the border besides increasing economic activity for certain countries to try to help the migration process from those countries. If you can find me any evidence that Kamala Harris had any role at the actual border itself, I will Venmo you $1,000. 800 people have heard it. I'll do it.
So I need to find a video.
No, just find me a single article with evidence.
Oh, I can easily do that. I
Okay.
can swipe out right now and find you an article.
Well, hold on. Let's hold on. Wait. Can we take a timeout? Can I preface something? When I said an article with evidence, like I'm not talking about some opinion piece where someone says borders are Kamala Harris does this and this. I'm talking about like an article maybe from like whitehouse.gov at the time that says, hey, this is Kamala Harris's role at the border, or like something that's obviously not opinion based. Something that just shows any evidence that Kamala Harris had a role at the border. If it's so clear she had a role at the border, there should just be something easy of here's her job description. Here's a video. Here's something she did. And
I'll swipe out here and I'll DM you as soon as we do this finish the conversation. I'll send you multiple articles, bro. It's not hard to find, and you can find them yourself too. I know. But the thing, do this false flag of you can't find this. You can't find that. It'd be easy for anybody here to find. Anybody.
If it's so easy, you can do it. If it's so easy, you can do it right now. You are like. I
will for sure. As
This
soon
is
as the conversation's over, I'll
right.
DM you.
Right. This is so purposely like disingenuous and dishonest. Like you say, I could do it so easily. You're right. Like the problem is actually you're wrong. I can't because it doesn't exist. Do you know how many times I've had this conversation? Like. It does. You have no idea what you're talking about, and that's fine.
There's two people who just put in the chat a link for you, so click on that link.
Let's see here. You want me to click on this link right here? Perfect. Because again, apparently you can't just like go to Google yourself. It's fantastic.
I mean, I just know how it is. As soon as I swipe out of here, you're gonna kick me off the live.
I'm not gonna kick you. Why would I do that? Somebody just sent me a Mark Harris. Somebody just sent me a U.S. congressman's website and says it's on border and immigration, a Mark Harris from North Carolina. The Biden administration put our national security at risk by inviting millions of illegal, undocumented immigrants, blah, 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 blah. Lake and Riley, House Judicial Committee. And then it says, I have more on border and immigration. Harris applauds passage of budget reconciliation. This is from, February of 2026. The link that you told me to click on says verbatim. It's one paragraph from a Mark Harris of North Carolina representative. The Biden administration put our national security at risk by inviting millions of unvetted illegal immigrants across our border, leaving tragic losses like those of Lincoln Riley, Rachel Morin, et cetera, et cetera. As a member of the House Judiciary Committee, Congressman Harris, meaning Mark Harris, is fully committed to prioritizing border security, restoring law and order, and protecting American citizens, including North Carolina residents. So the link I just clicked on literally had nothing to do with Kamala Harris. Dude, TACP, there was a one paragraph about a Congressman Harris. What are you talking about? Oh my God. People are actually delusional. Regardless. Okay.
There's been plenty of other articles.
It doesn't, dude, then swipe out and find one.
3 other ones
Then swipe out, stop. You know what?
Just click on the link.
I just told you I clicked on the link and it is look, I will show you what I pulled up. You know what? I'm not gonna do this. You swipe out of the app and go find me a link and I will pull it up live. Go. I'll Venmo you $1,000. $1,000 on the line right now for you in front of 800, really 1,000 people, including YouTube. 1,000 people will see this. You can prove me. I will give you the full screen to prove me wrong.
Bro, I've just counted 4 separate links that people have put in
Okay,
the chat.
amazing.
Click on those links, bro.
Amazing. Click on one of the links, swipe out, we'll stay here. I'm giving you the opportunity to prove it. Click on one of the links. Go ahead. So he swiped out. You can hear me. I can't hear you, and that's okay. You're still here. You're still in TikTok Live. I'm not kicking you. You can pick any article you want. I will give you $1,000 right now if you can prove to me that Kamala Harris had any role at the border in the way you're describing. It's very simple. And you say, oh, you're just going to say it's fake news. Buddy, like I'm not even, and again, I know you can hear me and you're not talking. That's okay. That's okay. I'm just going to speak for a second. I'm not trying to be a douchebag. I'm really not. Like I'm going to see something that sounds very dickish. And it's not an attempt to be dickish, but like, guys, I've done like the whole content creation, like / politics. Like politics is what I make like how I make my living. I think about it from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed every single day since like at least mid 2023. All right. The amount of times I've had this conversation specifically before the election, like is mind numbing. It makes me want to throw my head into a brick wall. All right. So like, I'm not going to be dishonest. I just know the answer to this question. Like you say, I'm going to kick him. I'm not going to kick you. I'm just being like, I've had this conversation so many times. I know the answer. Bro, this guy in the chat who's saying you owe him $1,000 is so funny. I think maybe it's because the congressman's last name is Harris. That's why he's like trolling. So good. Double tap the screen if you're here on YouTube. Let me know. Yo, Sid, I appreciate it. Oh, here, I can invite you to unmute your mic. But whenever you're ready, there's no rush. I'll keep you here. There's literally no rush.
I just put one in the chat. I'm
Here. No. Just
the character limit.
Yeah,
is
no.
least on the other one.
Don't put it in the chat. Just say it out loud. I'll pull it up.
Congress.gov on the bill. I have another one right here.
Wait. Start with the first one. Hold on. Start with the first one. Congress.gov. Oh boy. What's the first one?
That's telling the exact policy under the Biden-Harris administration.
Wait.
Calling Kamala Harris the border czar who is in charge of this policy, who is directly responsible for this policy. The other one,
can you wait? Stop. Don't type. I don't know why you keep typing in the chat. Just say it to me.
Paste the other one.
Just say it to me out loud. Can you just say it to me out loud? I just want the name of the article. I can pull it up, and anyone else who wants to look can pull it up.
It's in the chat, bro. Another guy just copied and pasted for you. Congress.gov/bill 118th Congress/House Resolution 1371 text.
You sent me a bill.
No, bro, you have to open it and read, bro. Like, open it and read it.
I know. So you sent me.
It's not a bill. If you would open it up and read it, you would understand.
Congress.gov/bill 118th Congress House Resolution is not a bill. All right, well, let's open this up. Here we go. It's a bill. House Resolution 1371. Dude, you send me a House Resolution, and I just want to say this for the chat. We can, because again, I told him I'd Venmo him $1,000. You sent me a bill. This is your first link to prove Kamala Harris had a role at the border. House Resolution 1371, strongly condemning the Biden administration and its border czar, Kamala Harris's failure to secure the United States border. So this is a bill from Republicans. Basically, like something that's like has no like actual like doesn't physically do anything, but is like just like signaling to people. They're just what's the word there? It's a resolution.
It's similar to an audit, yeah.
Okay, so this is literally just a bill to in Republicans' words, strongly condemn the Biden administration and what they call the border czar, Kamala Harris. Like what. Again, obviously Donald Trump and Republicans said over and over that Kamala Harris is the border czar and has a role at the border. It's not true. So like this is like,
I mean, you can say it's not true. So you're going to blame it on Biden, and you're saying Harris has nothing to do with that when she's been the one who's appointed to be in charge of the
she's
border?
not in charge of the border. I keep asking you for proof of this. You said this is no different. I muted you because I want to say this. This is no different. What you just sent me, a House resolution bill to strongly condemn the Biden administration and borders our Kamala Harris by Republicans. That's no different than you sending me a Donald Trump ad where he says borders are Kamala Harris, and you say, look, they're calling her the borders are. We don't like. Just give me any evidence. If she was appointed in charge of the border, it should be really easy to find literally anything showing today Kamala Harris was appointed the border. Here's what she's in charge of. Do you have a second
So
link?
you're moving the goalposts again. I never once claimed that she was appointed in charge of the border.
She's not. She wasn't.
Obviously,
She wasn't. She wasn't
for these policies, bro.
Dude. She
Of
wasn't.
course there's not an official appointment.
She wasn't appointed the border czar. She had no role of policy at the border.
But as everybody with a brain knows, she has been in charge. During the Biden.
She was never in charge. She had zero. Dog. She had zero. This guy is so fucking dense and stupid. She had no role at the border under Joe Biden. I promise you. And again, you sending me a House resolution bill of Republicans saying we condemn borders are Kamala Harris is like purely a political game. Like she had. We can just make this very broad. If everybody with a brain knows that Kamala Harris had a role at the border, can you show me any evidence that she had a role at the border? There's literally not like a single thing.
We already have, and this is not even the main part of the argument that we've been having the entire time. You've just been focused on one little thing.
Because I just want you to be a grown adult and admit when you're wrong. I want you to be a grown adult and admit when you're wrong. That's all. It doesn't have to be a whole thing. But you just spitting out some fucking garbage that's not true.
No, bro. This is like a tiny part of the entire argument.
Okay, so then can you just admit that?
One little thing.
Fantastic. Then we can.
When we've been talking about the entire broad
I think someone's. I think someone's moving the goalpost. So that's fine.
No,
we can.
We can. The goalpost the entire time.
We can.
And you're trying to say that she was not appointed.
Okay, so we can move on from this little thing. All you have to do is admit that you were wrong because she wasn't appointed the border czar.
No, you just moved the goalpost.
No.
There's never been a time in this conversation where I claimed that she was appointed.
Okay, fine. Then admit that you were wrong, that she was in charge of the...
She was delegated a certain responsibility under the Biden administration.
Do you have any evidence of that?
She failed
do you have any evidence that she was appointed that role? Or delegated that role? Any evidence?
Anybody with a brain has seen that she was the one who was on the front lines.
So fantastic. If anybody, this is so insane. If anybody with a brain can see it, then show it to me and I will Venmo you $1,000. This was all happening in front of our eyes.
Bro, all you're doing is trying to harp on semantics.
No,
bro.
I just want you to admit that you're lying right now and you're wrong. It's so easy, dude. She was not appointed this role. She had no role at the border. It is so simple. And it's clear clear that you know that now because you were offered $1,000 live to prove it to me and you want to move on.
I'm trying to talk. This is what's killing your argument.
Please.
You can't even hear any differing opinion without trying to talk
dude,
over
it's
people.
not it's not differing. This is like so ridiculous. You can't show it to me and that's fine. So we can move on. She didn't have a role at the border. She didn't.
And I never said that she had the official appointment of the border. That's what you're trying to move the goalposts to say.
No. I'm not.
Ever said that. What we said is she's been hypocritical.
Okay.
For entire
Fine. Then I'll move the goalpost toward you. She was not. I don't need you to prove that she had an official appointment. Show me any evidence that she had a role in border policy. Besides what I described.
Show me any evidence of her not being hypocritical. Show me one time where she
stood. Shut up. You were offered $1,000 live to prove this to me.
Bro, he says shut up because he gets mad.
No, I just need you to say now.
And you keep muting me, bro. Like, you're such a child.
It's because you want
disrespectful when you hear things that make you sound bad.
It's because you want to go to the broader conversation, which I'm happy to have. I just need you to be a grown adult and say that, you know what, I can't.
You're talking about being a grown adult when you're saying shut up,
mute. Yep. I just need you to tell me, and we can move on to the broader conversation. It's very simple.
You can't talk about.
It's very simple. just tell me that you could not find anything to show me that Kamala Harris had an official role at the border as you described. Just say
You've
that.
muted me 4 times.
Okay,
in the
so
last
do
2
you
seconds, bro.
do you
talking about
yeah,
being a
it's
grown
because you
adult,
keep it's because
and
you
you can't even have a
it's
non-emotional
because
conversation about politics.
it's because you keep talking over me and you keep trying to you're being so disingenuous.
Because you keep changing the
Like,
goalposts, bro. Either way, we're closer to the same side than you think.
I
Like
know,
told you,
I know, which is
I'm-
unfortunate because your IQ is like sub 80. So listen, we're gonna do this one more time. I want to have a conversation. Stop being disingenuous. I asked for. Shut up. I already told you that once. Okay. And again,
That's
this
what I'm
is. Yep. And he's gonna get all sad. He's gonna say, "You say shut up. You're disrespectful." I don't care. I'm gonna give you one more opportunity. I'm gonna give you one more opportunity to stop muting your mic. I'm gonna give you one more opportunity. It's okay. Calm down. You're okay. You're okay. Sit down there and calm down. I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you. Calm down. You're okay. I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you one more opportunity to show me any evidence that Kamala Harris had a role at the border. If you cannot do that, then I will, that's fine. You can say you were wrong and we can move on to the broader conversation. It's that simple. I'm not asking you to find an official appointment. I'm asking you to find me any evidence for your $1,000. If you can't, then all you have to do is say the words, quote, "I can't do it." And I'll say, "Okay, that's fine." And we will move on to the broader conversation. It's that simple. Go ahead.
I cannot prove your fallacy wrong because you completely warped the argument. So yeah, you're right. In your little false narrative, I'm wrong. But that's the problem is you have completely changed the conversation to fit what you want to hear.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
So what
We've been talking about other things the entire time, and you harped on this one little thing about she's not been appointed, the borders are. And then as soon as I start pointing out things that you don't like to hear, you're saying, shut up, you're an idiot, your IQ is low. And then claiming that I can't be a grown adult when you've been emotional, disrespectful, and muting me every 3 seconds when you don't hear something that you want to hear.
So what if you point?
So who is the child here?
Right. So again, I'm happy to go with whatever goalpost that you want. It has nothing to do. I don't care. I don't need to see an official appointment. What have you showed me that I didn't like? Like, do you have, again, it's just yes or no. Do you have any evidence?
You've gotten emotional and spoke over me. It's been something you don't like. I've been talking about her hypocrisy in her entire political career.
I would love to talk about that, but for the $1,000 Venmo that you were offered live in front of 1,000 people, can you just say that you are conceding that right now?
We never had talked about the narrative that you wanted to hear, bro.
So then just this is really what narrative can you prove? What narrative can you prove about Kamala Harris at the border?
That she was involved in a terrible border policy.
Okay,
we can both agree on that.
She was involved in what way?
She spearheaded it. Yes, she spearheaded a terrible immigration policy. Was she officially appointed? The borders or whatever you want to say.
So fine,
no, of course
fine.
not.
Do you have
but
any?
That's not what anybody has ever.
Fantastic.
That's not what I have ever claimed.
Okay, fantastic. Then I'll go with you. I'll give you $1,000 if you can prove to me that Kamala Harris, quote, spearheaded this policy.
Bro, she has been the face of the immigration policy of the Biden administration the entire time.
So
whether you like it or not,
that's a lot
she was the face of.
It's a yes or no question. Okay. Like you talk in big words and a lot of you're like, whether you like it or not, big feelings. She was the face. Like that's a whole lot
the
of
words are too big for you.
What I'm not hearing is yes or no. Can you just either you can concede. Can you just concede?
If you aren't smart enough to understand the words that I'm using, just say that.
This dude is like, you are incredibly dense. Like it's actually painful.
But the words that I'm using were too big for you. Is what
so you have conceded now. You cannot prove this to me. Everybody knows it, but you can't show it. By the way, 1,000. I offer this dude 1,000 USD to show this to me, and he won't do it. He's like, well, you just know. All right, well, you lose your $1,000. I mean, that's insane. Anyways, we can move on. We can
multiple times in chat. You don't even have $1,000 to give anybody, bro. Okay. Come on.
You've approved. Wait. You've proved it. Wait. You've proved it multiple times in the chat. Just to be clear, you sent me one link. And it is a House resolution bill by Republicans, quote, to strongly condemn the Biden administration and its borders are Kamala Harris and their failure to secure the U.S. border, introduced by Elise Stefanik.
So what would count as sufficient proof to you? What would you?
You are actually this is. It is shocking the conversation that I'm in.
Why can't you answer the question? Why can't you answer the simple question? What would constitute sufficient proof?
So
there's not going to be an official announcement of her being appointed.
Okay, Sure. As I've said many times, doesn't have to be an official announcement. Literally anything to show that's not a Republican saying I would like.
Oh, okay. It can't be a Republican
No,
article.
it's not. No,
Okay.
that's not. Hold on. That's not what I said. I'm just saying what you sent me just now, a House resolution bill where Republicans say, if you vote yes on this, you're agreeing to condemn the Biden administration, Kamala Harris. That's objectively, you would agree, no different than you showing me an ad from Donald Trump saying Kamala Harris is the border czar and saying, look, I'm proving it to you. I don't need I'm agreeing with you. I don't need an official appointment. I just want, if you could literally just show me at any level that's not like a Republican ad. I'm not saying it can't be, like it can be literally anything just showing that she was actually like responsible for some amount of border policy, like you started with in the beginning. I told you what she was responsible for, which is increasing economic output in these triangle countries in South America. I told you that. But to suggest that she had literally anything at all to do with policy on the border itself.
So what makes her responsible for that and not the other
Because
bills and policies that happened
the
under
Biden
administration?
Because the Biden administration explicitly appointed her to that, talked about it, and gave the stats behind it. So I'm aware.
She was still
I'm aware
in
that
the Biden administration when these other terrible immigration policies went
right,
through.
but
the fact of the matter is, we're getting so stuck on one little thing because you're so like you're so.
I think.
I don't even know how to say it, but
I think we're getting stuck on one thing because like you have no idea how government works. And like I'm just being.
You just really want to be right about one little thing.
Okay. No, I actually don't care. I don't care. I don't like we can move. I just want to be clear. We can move on. I was just offering you the $1,000, and you didn't want the $1,000, and I was pushing you to prove a point you made.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
I'm pushing you to prove a point you made, and because you are very a dishonest person, you wanted to. You decided after saying it. You said multiple times after saying it. You said, okay, it doesn't matter. We can move on because you didn't want to have to prove it because you know you don't know what you're talking about, which is dishonest. It concerns me.
No,
it concerns me. It concerns me about how you speak to other people in your personal life.
The goalpost to fit one little thing when we've been talking about a broad.
Okay,
spectrum
so let's
of
talk
different
about the broad.
policies
Let's
that she was
talk.
involved with,
Let's talk about the broad spectrum then. Go ahead.
The broad spectrum is she's been a hypocrite her entire political career, bro. She's
do you have a new
flip-flopped on every single policy that she's ever been a part of. Everything she says now is something that she did not believe in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. She's a political chameleon.
Do you have another example of that?
We just talked about her stance
I know we talked
on drugs. We just talked about her stance on crime. We just talked about her stance on immigration. She's changed her mind on all of these different things.
You keep saying
her policy. Her stance on Israel.
Stop. Calm down. You keep saying all of these things, but all we've discussed is you saying that. All we've discussed is her career as a prosecutor, and then her. I don't understand like where her flip-flopping on the border. Really, all we've discussed in terms of her career flip-flopping is you keep saying every single thing she's flipped on. And it's like you're talking about her as a prosecutor 30 years ago. I mean, she's obviously been a Democrat. She was a U.S. senator for 4 years, a vice president. Like, what do we... You seem to like be so passionate that every single thing, she's like the worst human ever. But you like kind of just stop short of being able to provide anything. It's like you kind of hate her without knowing why you hate her. You're just kind of like you were just kind of following whatever you're told or something. I don't know. Or you hate women. I don't know what it is. It's just weird.
No, my biggest part is her stance on drugs and her stance as a prosecutor.
So what if
where she specifically prosecuted low-income minorities for low-level, mostly marijuana crimes, and then goes and has the audacity to run as a pro, a pro marijuana supporter when she has been super disingenuous her entire time about this policy in itself.
Right.
And then she has the audacity to go on an interview and laugh about smoking pot and things like that in college, right? Before she was a prosecutor, when it was, like you said, more, less progressive. To be that disingenuous about something that you changed people's lives about is evil, in my opinion.
Got it. And we talked about that, and I'm happy to keep addressing that. But for the whole, just really quickly, just so I want to understand, every single thing ever, her entire political career, she's flip-flopped on. So, like, I'm happy to talk about that, what you just talked about again. But, like, do you have anything else? I mean, what a horrible, awful, evil human being with such few examples of being such. Yeah, and to people's
So
point,
that's something you don't want to talk about because
no,
it's
we
something
already
you've-
wait, no, stop. We already talked about it.
Well, of course,
I'm
that's
just
something
saying
we
you
already
use
talked about.
you're
But you
very
wanted to talk
you're
her not being appointed
sure.
the board czar
You're
for
you're
20 minutes, but you don't want to talk
you're
about
very
something that makes her look.
shut up for 2 seconds. You're very like hyperbolic is what I was getting at. Like you say a lot of like she's the worst ever and her whole career she's done nothing but flip-flop, and then you can like name one thing, which is fine. It's just you're hyperbolic. What about, so I'll address one more time. We already talked about this, but talking about like the prosecutor standpoint, what about like
Well, what about when she was a prosecutor and she fought to deny healthcare?
can I answer? Shut the fuck up. Can I answer your question? I'm trying. Dude.
You get mad when you hear things you don't like. You're a child.
No, dude. You asked me 3 times in a row to address what you were saying, and as soon as I started addressing it, and I said when she was a prosecutor, to try to address your point, you freaked the fuck out. So be quiet.
No, I'm calm. You're the only one who's yelling.
All right,
up.
all right. You're okay. You're okay,
I'm
champ.
very
So I'm
calm.
going to
Go
answer your question now. I'm going to answer your question. Okay. As a prosecutor, right? I think we already touched on what the role of a prosecutor is, her role as following the law, whether she likes the law or not. But you would agree that there were other standpoints. And when you say she was such an aggressive prosecutor, I labeled her at the time certainly as a very progressive prosecutor. What about her time as DA, helping, giving? This was one of the most progressive policies in the nation at the time, which was if you committed a crime, like a nonviolent crime, like a drug offense, but you agreed to complete your a GED and hold a job, that you wouldn't get any prison time. That was like one of the most progressive policies in the country at the time. So like she certainly had very progressive policies.
Am I allowed to talk now?
Yes.
Okay. What about her fighting to deny parole to nonviolent offenders?
Sure.
What about her fighting to deny health care to trans individuals? What about her fighting to overturn evidence on a man who was sentenced to death row? What about those?
Okay, wait.
What's progressive about that?
I'm happy to address those things, but if you could just address what I just said, and then I can address what you said.
Sure, she's done a couple progressive things, but the bad things she's done to the citizens of her state vastly outweighs the good things she's done.
Okay, great. So let's go through some of the stuff that you said.
And my point is that she's flipped her stance on all of those things that we just talked about. Her views on marijuana, her views on trans rights, her views on parole.
So two things really quickly, and again, I'm happy to like address the specific claims you just made, but I also want to just be clear on a very broad level. Why you keep swiping out of the app because you're reading something? I think like some AI summary or something, but whatever. Because like I've asked for a lot of this information for like 30 minutes, and now you're bringing it.
No, because I'm just trying to get you your evidence that you want so badly.
But who are you asking for that evidence?
I'm making a list off of everything that I need to send you, bro.
Right. Okay. But really quickly, just speaking broadly, like, again, just trying to zoom out for a second, like, you say she's flip-flopped on all these positions, but, like, you would agree that, like, certainly compared to 30 years ago, like, really even compared, I mean, what year is this? 2020? Yeah. Compared to 20 years ago, I mean, a lot of people have flipped their position on a lot of things in good faith. I mean, 20 years ago,
In good faith? How is that good faith?
Well, no, I'm saying that I'm speaking like very broadly just about like people. 20 years ago, the approval rating for gay marriage in the United States in 2006 was pretty effing low. I would assume I'm just going to make something, I'm going to guess here, but I'm pretty sure, something around like 35% of people support that. And 20 years later, obviously the support for gay marriage is much higher. There's a lot of people in the country right now who were alive in 2006 and were of voting age. I don't think I think a lot of those people actually just grew. So I'm just saying that like, and I'm not saying this for every instance you're bringing up. I'm just want to point out that like it is possible for people to evolve their views on things like drug use or gay marriage, etc. That's all. You would agree with that?
Of course, it's possible that you can evolve your views, but it does seem very helpful for her candidacy that she decided to change these views right before she became, the face of the Democratic Party.
Well, I mean, her views, obviously, like I mean, in 2020 when she was running for president, like before there was any idea of who was going to win, and she was attacking Joe Biden on the debate stage. I mean, I don't think anybody thought she was going to be the face of the Democratic Party then, certainly, and she was, obviously holding a lot of the same views we talk about.
Yeah, but of course she's going to want to align with the liberal talking points because she wants the blue vote, right? It's kind of unforgivable for her, or not unforgivable, but it's unbelievable that she would be so anti-trans rights, you know what I mean, or anti-parole for low-level offenders, and then all of a sudden she completely flip-flops when it's convenient for her when she wants to run for a vice presidency or a presidency.
Is there
You
any?
know what I'm saying? Like, it's really disingenuous, and I get what you're saying when you're saying people can evolve their political ideologies, right? But is that what we want as the president of our country?
I think that's a fair question to ask. I understand that question, actually. I think it's very fair. Is there any Democrat that you like?
Yeah, I told you, I like Buttigieg. And I like Sanders, even though Sanders, like you said, is too old for the position. And I like Andrew Yang. I really like Andrew Yang. But I just can't side with somebody who seems like she's just so fake and has done so many bad things in her prosecutorial career that to have her as the president of our great country is just insane to me, that we would allow that to happen just because the alternative is big bad Trump. You know what I'm saying? And like we've talked about before, I don't like Trump. Everything he's done with the war in Iran is completely evil, right? He's completely sold out to Netanyahu. But the alternative is Kamala Harris. Like, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that's just extremely sad for our country.
Got it. Well, listen, obviously we have some disagreements. I do, at the end there, I do certainly, I understand the questions about what do we want for our country and what does it mean when someone grows versus flip-flops. I understand that, actually. I think about that a lot. So I get it. I do think it's going to be important to vote, and I certainly understand why a lot of people are saying Kamala Harris is not our best option. There's a lot of I'd support Buttigieg as well. I love Pete Buttigieg. So I respect the passion. I apologize for the harsh words. But I do think that, again, we're going to have to agree to disagree on some of the other stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we agree on a lot more than we disagree on when it really comes down to it. I think we really got stuck in two little talking points that we maybe, misunderstood each other. But at the end of the day, my point has always been that when you have Kamala Harris running as the Democratic representative, you're almost basically forfeiting the presidency to the right side because she's so unlikable to people who are in the middle or who are slightly leaning right already. You know what I mean? If it's going to be Trump or Harris, a lot of people are just going to vote for Trump just based on her track record, and also just the way that she politicizes things. She's not a very good speaker.
I understand that perspective.
And the only I got to get going too, because it is about 2:15 in the morning here. But the last question that you didn't answer that I respectfully would like you to answer, because I really am interested, is if you're going to vote for someone in the 2028 election, like I asked you before, who would you want it to be?
Okay, sure. So first of all, again, I'm glad that we're ending this on a higher note. I'm going to apologize for my previous displays of anger and words that I used. I appreciate you being here. To answer your question really quickly, I don't know if you were here for this, but this is who I have a list. Okay, I have 20-ish people that I think are the qualifications to be on the list are as follows. Either you're actively considering running for president, or if you're not actively considering running for president, somebody in your inner circle is telling you should run for president. And the list is as follows: Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, J.B. Pritzker, Pete Buttigieg, Gretchen Whitmer, Andy Beshear, Josh Shapiro, Cory Booker, Wes Moore, Ruben Gallego, Mark Kelly, Chris Murphy, AOC, Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Kathy Hochul, Michelle Obama, James Tallarico, Rahm Emanuel, Ro Khanna, Jon Stewart, and John Ossoff. I think Stephen A. Smith should probably be on that list too. So, look, I think that literally every single one of these people I would vote for, except for probably like Rahm Emanuel. Fuck Rahm Emanuel. Who do I like? Like, again, I genuinely, being super honest, I have no idea who I'd vote for in 2028. There's a lot of people on this list that I like. I certainly have not been like, oh, I like one particular person. But lately, I've thought a lot about AOC. I like AOC a lot. Thought a lot about J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. I like J.B. Pritzker a lot. I think J.B. Pritzker specifically is a real X factor. Andy Beshear is the governor of Kentucky, and he's very impressive, and I think there's a lot to learn from him. Josh Shapiro, I understand people see him as moderate, but I think also a potential X factor. That's where my head's at. So my head, in terms of people I'm thinking about right now, are J.B. Pritzker, Shapiro, AOC, and Andy Bashir.
Okay, man. Yeah, I don't know much about Bashir, but I'll have to look into him. I
He's,
appreciate the conversation, man, and I appreciate the time.
Of course, I appreciate the conversation. I apologize again. And yeah, Andy Bashir is interesting because being the governor of Kentucky, he won his election by 6 points in 2023, and then Kentucky went to Trump by 25, I think. So that's a 31-point flip. He clearly is very, very. I mean, Republicans like that guy a lot. I mean, he's in a very Republican state, so he's achieved a lot. People like him. I think I like characters like that. It reminds me a bit of Shapiro, but he's got a little bit of an edge to him that I think is interesting. So.
Yeah. I mean, for a Democrat to win a state like Kentucky, that's impressive. So,
right.
All right, here, man. Have a good night.
Man. All right, man. Be safe. Oh, chat, dude. What a conversation. Holy smokes. Jesus Christ, dude. I've not had a heated debate like that in like a while, dude. I just want to say I did offer him $1,000. I did. I get we got caught up on that point. But a quick band. I offered him a band. I don't have a band to give. I just knew I was right. Yo, thanks everybody for being here. YouTube, great to see everybody. Holy smokes! Let's call it some fine people on YouTube. James on YouTube says, "I ate the neighbor's cat." All right. Well, that seems all right. Why did you put up with that? That's a great question. Also off AOC, Sticky. I love it. Thanks for being here. There's a guy who's made over 100 accounts to bother me on both TikTok and YouTube and all my other platforms as well, and it's really weird, actually, and kind of scary. Anyways, hello on YouTube. I missed the good stuff. I'm sorry about all the spam, YouTube. I try really hard. But I don't want to have to put this chat into sub only, but I think, it's like something that certainly, I mean, it's just hard not to, I can't figure out. The guy he makes so many different accounts. It's so crazy. Guy wouldn't accept he was wrong. Chris needs therapy after dealing with these dumbasses. Therapy's a great thing. If you don't go to therapy, go. I go every week, once a week on Tuesdays. Except I missed it this Tuesday because I'm bad at scheduling things. Yo, Noodle, good to see you. Phoebe, good to see you. Very weird and scary. It's not great. Wow, I can't believe there's 826 people in here. Thanks for being here, guys. Mateo, good to see you. Smokey, proud of you. Cheryl, you're the best. I love you. I go Mondays, Dubs Locksky. How's Chicago? Chicago's great. Lollapalooza this weekend. I have the honor. Okay, Double Taz Green. Good. I can't believe we're still doing this, guys. Are we still going to 19 a.m.? Are we going to continue this to 19 a.m. Central Time? Yo, thanks for the gifts. I appreciate you. Someone said yes. Steve, yo, Tiffany, thanks for being a sub. Finally hit 100K. I appreciate you guys so much. Double tap the screen. I really appreciate everybody being here. You guys are the best. Ria Raya, thanks for $1 on Venmo. Thanks for everything. Yo, I really appreciate that, seriously. There's links to Venmo and PayPal and all that other good stuff, but never any pressure. I think it might be in my link tree. I just do lives for fun these days, so I appreciate you guys so much, truly. Hi, happy to see you live again. Thanks for everything. Congrats on 275K on YouTube. Yo, much love for Rio Ryan in the chat. Give me some W's in the chat. You deserve the world. Stay safe. It's Twitch soon. I do need to do Twitch. Insomnia driving me crazy. I'm so sorry. That's the worst. So happy you're live. Well, I'm happy you're here. W in the chat, Rio Ryan. W's in the chat for Rio Ryan. You're young and full of life. I have the honor to be your obedient servant. Someone says, AOC has 0 chance. Dude, really, everyone has 0 chance right now because it's fucking 2026, dude. Like, I dead ass, like, I just think I just think that anybody making really this is my advice I give to everybody, genuinely. If you're scrolling TikTok, if you're listening to people about politics, anybody who is making really absolute claims about 28, whether it's this person cannot run, I wouldn't vote for them, or this is what's going to happen, or AOC has no chance, or I don't know, we all have to vote for this person. Like my genuinely, and this is no shade on anybody, but my advice is I would not listen to them on that topic, at least. Like, I think that you have to be really being clearly not objective. Like, if you're being objective at all, the answer is that there's 20 people running for president. It's way too early to tell. You can have characters that you like. All of them have their benefits for whatever reason. And that's about as far as you can go. I think anybody who is on your For You page being like, this is absolutely what we need to, they're being ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Literally anything could happen. Exactly. So, hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Can I say something real quick, please?
How old are you?
I want to say, I just want to say fuck ICE, fuck Trump.
Well, I agree with that. I do agree with that. I do, and I appreciate being here. But you have to be 18 to join TikTok Live. Many people told me that. Many people. Oh, W guest. By the way, we won't ever get mad if you try to move on to the next caller. If the one who keeps going in circles, yo, chicken wing, I appreciate it.
Yo, Chris, I'd slap the shit out of you.
Damn. Chicken wing, I appreciate you a lot. Yo, Tiffany, love the show. Always see you on TikTok sometimes. Tiffany has became a member for the second month over on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. Truly, that level of support, never take it for granted. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Make sure you like the live if you're over on YouTube. I have the honor to be only looking for Trump supporters right now. We'll see how much longer I've got in the tank. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
You know, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. Do you like Trump?
I do. I like Trump.
Why is that?
I guess a bit of a selfish reason. I'm a bit big on international affairs, on specific subjects. I gotta tell you, I'm a big Israel fan. I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Is this something you want to debate right now, or?
Yeah, sure. But is this a troll?
No, not really.
Not
no, not at all. Not at all. My bad. Not at all. No, I'm here to debate.
Yeah. What year were you born?
2008. I'm fresh. 2008. I had my birthday in February.
All right. Give me 1 second. Don't. Just never mind. Hold on. Sorry. Soul Music. Thank you so much for $5 over on YouTube. I actually appreciate you so much. Truly, I never take that for granted. Can we get 1 million W's for Soul Music? So good to see you. $5 means the world. Truly. What's your genuine thoughts on the midterms? Do you think they'll be messed with? I'm kind of worried, but I'm not sure if I'm overthinking. Soul Music, again, never take that for granted. Thanks for being here. It means the world. I think about this a lot, actually, these days, and it messes with my mind, so you're certainly not alone. Look, I think that, there's two ways to look at this, which is, number one, Donald Trump and his influence have decreased to a point where it's maybe he will continue to try his best to pass something like the Save America Act, but because Republicans won't listen to him, or I don't know, the judicial system is doing a good job holding up, that he will not have much success with that, and we will watch Democrats win this House and the Senate and go from there. However, I think the other side of that coin is it scares me that they're not trying to court voters. Okay, Donald Trump is delusional. He's cognitively declining. He's 80 years old. His presidency is a disaster. And Trump supporters know it too. People don't like him. I get that he's delusional and doesn't care. But they aren't trying at all to convince voters. Not at all. I mean, we're right around the corner from the midterms, and they're they don't even give a fuck. They're just talking about whatever every day. That's concerning to me. And I think that it would be foolish in a way to believe that there's not at least something going on behind the scenes. We've known that there was much more of a push than we originally understood for them potentially to suspend habeas corpus toward the beginning of the administration, take some really egregious stances on immigration. And I think the most likely example of this that we would see the plan is that we would see ICE at polling locations. Like he tried to make this push about voter fraud in his speech, which I think was a huge failure. And not many people are even talking about it anymore, which is a really big win for like us and our country. But he certainly has tried to like already spew the misinformation about the election being stolen in his primetime speech, which is really scary because he's trying to be able to call fraud afterwards, but also just like, give them the justification, rile people up and have them potentially distrusting things going into the midterms. I don't think that's working out as well as he'd hoped. But I think trying to do that combined with potentially ICE agents at polling locations, and essentially trying to give the federal government in any way as much power as humanly possible. So I do think I think it'd be naive to think there isn't a plan in place, but I think that things are holding up well, so we will see. But it's something I debate every day, so in my own head, so I wouldn't feel alone in it, because it kind of drives me nuts whether I'm like, he's actually like, am I being naive thinking that we're in a good place, but also like, is he really going to have the ability to do some of the things I described? I don't know.
Hey, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Sorry, we can talk now.
No,
I really appreciate
$5 dono is, you gotta respect that. It's a lot, man.
I actually do appreciate that a lot. Yes, so you're a big fan of Israel. What does that mean? To go on to a lighter subject. Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on.
It's fine. I'll wait.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like that would be the time to show when you took off your headphones. Yeah. So, why am I a fan of Israel? Just to put it out there, I am an American citizen. I am, but I'm also an Israeli citizen. I have dual citizenship. Everything is so quiet now. Oh, you muted your microphone. Okay, I got it. I am a dual citizen. If that helps, I guess that's where my selfishness comes from. I could see it. I'm not blind. Yeah. Do you want me to give space? Yeah. Sorry. Do you have anything? Here's the thing. As also an Israeli and an American, but also an Israeli, I personally don't like Netanyahu. I mean, a lot of Israelis don't. I mean, a big majority of us don't. But there is a lot of things I agree with that Israel does. There's a lot of things I disagree with. Do you want to give me a quick list of like, I don't like when Israel does like certain stuff they did, and then and then we could debate that.
Sure. Yeah. So a couple things here. So obviously, like, as you could probably imagine, really don't like Netanyahu. I think that dude has continued the chaos and continued.
Wait, did you hear what I say? I hate him too.
Oh yeah. No, I know. I was just
okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just kind of agreeing and prefacing that. And part of the reason I dislike him is because I think that he's engaged and continued the chaos for his own self-preservation. And I think that's bad. I think that beyond that, I think like the atrocities we're seeing in Gaza, using the G word is kind of is undeniable. And I also think that at this point, what Israel is like engaged in the West Bank, I think, is like really, 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 really effing atrocious, and is I think watching settlers come in and just just take land and have support from the Israeli government to do that is fucking. I'm blanking on what word I'm trying to use here.
Yeah, I could just answer what you said so far. You brought up a couple points.
Sure.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt you. Okay.
No, go ahead.
I'll put the West Bank on hold. You brought up two things before. One, you talked about his big ego and self-preservation. I agree with you. I think so many of his decisions, and I see this as an Israeli, right? Again, American, but Israeli. I think they're just to keep him in office and delay elections. That's my opinion. Hope you agree with me. And then you brought up the atrocities in Gaza. Now, I definitely think atrocities happen. I think using the G word is, in my opinion, right? We could talk about this. I think it's incorrect. It doesn't mean people haven't been unalived. Of course, people have. Kids, women, men, a lot of people have. But it doesn't mean it's a G word, right? TikTok foreign language. It doesn't mean, in my opinion, and according to the UN and according to a lot of definitions out there, you can say the ICC, whatever. According to, when I look at the definition and I look at different G sides is okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I look at different G sides and I look at what's happening. I really don't see it as a G side in any way, shape, or form.
Got it. Let me ask you a question in relation to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to fucking my YouTube studio.
Take your time. I'm
I appreciate you obviously like being kind here and respectful. Like I think my first question from like, and I come at these a lot of times from a logical standpoint is like, if that is the case, why do you believe that? Why do you believe that groups like, I think, and for the record, you were an Israeli citizen, so you might know more about the first two groups I'm going to mention. But I believe that there's two large nonprofit groups in Israel that have labeled it a G-side. Obviously, Amnesty International has labeled it a G-side. You have other like very large international groups who have labeled this. So why do you believe, if it's not that there is that label from so many not people but like groups themselves?
Good question. First, you brought up groups. As somebody who's I'm currently in New York, but as somebody who's in Israel, a lot of the time I could tell you that there are certain groups, especially in the central of Israel, like Tel Aviv and these areas, which are very, very, very left leaning. And I can't even explain how left leaning. As much, Chris, right? As left as you think you are, you're a joke to them. Okay, they talk about atrocities, and they have such radical leftism in ways I can't even explain. So to them, to those groups that don't even agree with the existence of Israel, they don't even agree with the existence, then yeah, they label it as that. Now, I'll tell you why I don't think it's a G-side. So when I look at the definition, right, I'm giving a spitball here for the definition. It should be like 90% correct. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It's the deliberate, I'm using TikTok friendly language. It's the deliberate unaliving of a large group of people with the intent to unalive them all. This is the basic. The UN cracks this down into 3 bullet points of like how they do this and whatever. It's a really, really big topic. Now, when we look at a G-side, we have to look at intent. It's just like the biggest thing people miss out there. And I don't see how, and I know every Israeli says this, but the population grows, before they go to, can I say the B word? Before they B word an area, they drop flyers, they phone people, they yell with like speakers to evacuate the area, they provide aid. Like, I'm sorry, like, especially like the population, right? What was it before the war? Like 2.2, what is it? 2.3 now? I'm not sure the details, but it's just, again, how can you compare this to like, there's certain atrocities around the world that are actually classified as a G-side, where you see just like massacres. It's just, I don't get it.
Sure. So I think like to the first point, like besides like, do you believe that like the other like besides in Israel itself, like the other international groups, are they all, is like your understanding or your belief generally that like they're also labeling it this
which international groups, like what, the UN?
Yeah, or like or I was specifically let me pull this up real quick. I was specifically referencing like Amnesty International, for example.
I'm personally against yeah.
I was just no, it's okay. I was just going to generally ask, like, besides, or the UN, like besides groups, just briefly, like, because I know that you said a lot after this, but I was just trying to understand. Like, besides the groups in Israel,
I'm not in a rush. Take your time. I'm not here to troll.
Besides the groups in Israel, why would would you believe that like the UN, for example, or Amnesty International are also just like very like have some like, I think,
biased or something,
or left wing activism? Like, why would they be what is your belief in that?
Yeah, I'm really happy you brought this up. I used to talk about this. I don't really go on live panels, but I used to talk about this topic all the time because I think the UN is I think they're so flawed as an organization. Right after October 7th happened, right? What happened was there was a lot of cases of rape happening in Israel, obviously by the H group, and what we saw, the UN has side branches, right, that split, like, it's different organizations, and one of the UN side branches is called UN Women, And you saw right after October 7th, the UN, right, which is supposed to be there for everybody, regardless, constantly post about the woman in Gaza. Right, this is right after October 7th, like days after, and mention nothing, not even recognize the woman that got raped, which in my opinion is insane. Now, later on, they released an article about the essay that happened there, whatever, that's good.
Good night,
I
Maggie.
think,
Sorry, continue.
no, yeah, it's fine. I think the UN can be so left-leaning sometimes, and I think they can also be right-leaning. I think they sometimes like take a stance, which is weird to me, right? It's again, it's my opinion. Yeah, that's if that answers your question.
Got it. Yeah, I understand. So, okay, got it. To the second point of what you said, to the second point about what you said about like the population and like the definition of genocide, et cetera, and like Israel's attempts to like intent slash like clearing people out. Look, I think that like number one, especially when it comes to like warning citizens, et cetera, I think, and this would have been early on in the war that I'm about to reference, but starting out with like, some of the evidence that we got that the IDF was clearing people from certain areas, telling them to go to a different area, and then the belief being that area would be, safe for refuge, and then that area being bombed, and some questions about, going to specifically, I guess, to southern Gaza when like they actually started the ground invasion of northern Gaza, et cetera. And so like I don't know that like logically although I agree that like, but looking at these things on the surface, especially for intent, it makes sense what you're saying. I'm not sure that I necessarily believe that just because Israel, like, again, I still think that like for Bibi Netanyahu and the people in the government, I think that certainly like the hardline right of because I guess this is crazy to me, but the politics of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu isn't, he has a right flank problem because the right flank sees him as like way too moderate and like Ben Gvir and stuff.
Yeah, Ben Gvir is 10 times worse.
Right. So like I think if they have, I think let's just say hypothetically for a second, speaking very broadly.
Can I first answer?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let me just like quickly go over the problem of why, and this is a fact. Israel told people to go a certain way, and they had to bomb. B-word that place. Why? Again, Gaza it's. I don't think people understand how small of an area it is. It's so small, and there's 2.2 million people that live there, and among them is age group, which hides in plain clothing, super hard to find, very hard to target. Right, I think we had one of the best ratios in like modern warfare when it came to T's to civilians. Just putting that out there. It's just it's very hard to target them, and sometimes it gets to a point where you tell civilians to go to one area, and then you realize, hey, there's a bunch of T's right here, and we're gonna try to get them as much as we can, but casualties happen. It's a war.
Yeah.
And obviously, like there's been cases of things happening that are way outside the norm and not okay. Like I'm just putting that out there. Yeah.
And look, I although I think I understand what you're saying. I think that like I understand what you're saying. I think that for the intent specifically with the G-side word, I think it's important to not outweigh the potential that Ben Gvir and some of these people looking at Palestinians the way that I think they do.
I think Ben Gvir has intent to wipe every single one of them out.
Right. And so I think that to watch the Israeli government's actions with, like, obviously it would not be good for any of them from a political standpoint or like the safety of themselves to just make it so, I don't want to say it like this. It sounds like, I don't know, like I'm not saying this right, but to make it so quote like obvious or make the intent clear. So that's just why I was saying that, like, obviously I understand what you're saying about the intent in moving people. The question is obviously like what goes further than that. And I agree that obviously that Gaza is very incredibly dense. I think that there was something I was going to say.
Yeah. Before while you think about it, I quickly wanted to say, it's again, there's hiding it. there's playing it like sneaky and then secretly trying to eliminate the population. But like really, when you look at what's happened since 2023, it's so skewed off G side. It's I think when in my opinion, when somebody says, "Hey, what's happening?" There is a G side, and I never argue with when somebody says, "Oh, people died. It's an atrocity." I agree with them. But when somebody says, "Hey, what happened?" There is a G side. I'm like, did you see what happened in like Rwanda? Did you see what happened? Like, are you serious? I feel like you would open Google Maps and you would see just piles of blood in certain areas, and you would see like I'm sorry, like, it's hard to talk about. I really think when people say that, it drives me crazy. It's like, what are you saying?
Got it. Yeah, yeah, and I certainly understand like some of the like things that we've seen from other places have been a little more. I don't know what the word is. Well, I think that maybe this actually relates to one of the things I'm going to say, and then I'll say a few more things. I would certainly like to pick this conversation up again. Sorry, I'm just really fucking tired, and I think
It's 3:42
yeah.
a.m. for me too.
Okay, yeah, got you. New York.
Yeah, we're both tired. We'll end this soon.
But like, look, from the again, if I'm gonna say that again, we've seen I think a lot of groups and such call it a G side, and I think seen these obvious atrocities. Like, I don't understand fundamentally why Israel is not letting still like the flow of independent journalists into the region. And I think that my understanding is that at other times, in a lot of other, pretty much, any conflict around the world, like journalists have some ability to get into these places and report on what's happening. And it's when I have this argument, it is really, it's becoming, and again, maybe this combines with some of what I obviously see that's so effing atrocious in the West Bank. But like, what is your opinion about journalists not being allowed currently?
No, it's a good question. I think up towards 2025, I would say journalists not being allowed in my opinion, 100% makes sense. I don't think they should have been allowed in at all. I think you're smart. You can agree with me that when a war is happening, no journalist should be let inside. It's so dangerous. It's so dangerous out there. That's one. I would say leaning into 2026. Again, we've seen, and I could say this as an Israeli, there's always been like times where there was a war, H group shot missiles at us, and then we finally thought it was over, and then sneakily they found their way back, right? I think after October 7th, Israel put such a tight guard on. They switch your mindset to like, okay, this is like never happening again. No matter like at one point they didn't let like a certain like even seasoning in. I don't know if you remember that. It was like a funny thing. It was like a certain seasoning they didn't even let in because it could have been used to make like whatever. Point is, Israel is on such a tight guard since October 7th. I personally get it. I mean, I don't want to speak from personal experience because I'm not in the IDF, but I know stories, I know people, and I get why journalists wouldn't be allowed to go in. Now, the West Bank. Can I talk about the West Bank? I think the West Bank is such an interesting topic because there's so many areas in the West Bank that Israel is doing stuff that I don't agree with. Especially in the settlements, there's like extreme misbehavior by some Jews, which is insane. And I'm saying this as a Jew, I'm really disappointed. But also on the other side, we have to look at, there's like when you look at the West Bank and you look at all the walls around and you look at the security and how these people live, it's sad. It's sad to see. But at the end of the day, like you got to look at why it's there. I personally, I was just like, what was it, a year and a half ago? I was going to a friend's house, right? And I took a certain route that I usually wouldn't take. It's like a 5-10 minute walk. And the route I usually took, there was a car with 2 T's in it that crashed into a bus station I would have took to get to my friend's house. And I'm saying this from personal experience. There's so many people to come out of the West Bank with such bad intentions to cause so much harm. So I understand. why the security is there. I really do. I understand it. Is it unfair to people who just want to live their life? Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know how else we can prevent atrocities from happening.
Got it. I think that certainly on the first point about the journalists, I think that like I have definitely some stronger disagreements there, and even on the last point, the West Bank, certainly something that I'd actually like love to debate. I really appreciate you like being respectful up here and like giving some thoughts, especially as like an Israeli.
Bro, I was in another live like 5 minutes before I joined yours. Like I haven't done this in like half a year, and then I join, and then it's just like 3 people talking to me all at once while I'm just trying to talk. And they're like, I'm like, guys, can we just like try to have a conversation? And they just like yell at me. They're like, no, it's crazy. And it's not just because it's left. Like this also happens on the right. This happens everywhere. Like it's
no, 100%. The panel, dude, TikTok's crazy. The panels are crazy.
Yeah, TikTok is so crazy.
I've obviously like gonna have some really like intense disagreements here, but I think that like you certainly are good faith and you're respectful. So I'd very much like to talk more.
Just to put it out there, I don't like Trump as a person. I said this before. Again, super selfish reasons. Yeah, it's just that. Let's go to sleep. I think.
Yeah,
it's like 4 a.m.
yeah. And next time you're around, you're welcome up, and I'm gonna think through some of the stuff you said, and we'll debate again.
Yeah, we'll check back.
All right, man. Be safe.
I appreciate. Also, people in the chat were super nice. Yeah. All right. Have a good day, guys.
All right, man. Be safe.
Can you kick me?
Yeah, I got you. Be safe.
yeah. You too.
You know what? That guy was actually pretty nice. That guy was not pretty nice. That guy was really nice. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Yo, Christian, good to see you. I'm like actually like so tired. I get to this stage in the night where I start like trying to understand people and I'm like debating in my own head. Yeah, some really strong disagreements. So like I mean, at least he's not like, wipe everybody off the face of the planet. I guess like he's like, there's been atrocities, but it's not a genocide, which like, oh. But I think to the last point, like, I really disagree. Like the journalist thing, I can't get behind that. I can't get behind the journalist thing, dude. No, I'm sorry. Like I keep saying I understand, and that's because like so many of the debates we have, like you talk to people and like I don't understand because people are fucking delusional. Like I understand, but like nah, it cannot be a good argument, dude. That is so sus to me. You gotta let journalists in. Someone said that was also disappointing to me. Wait, why? Why, Marissa? Please do not spam my chat, please. Oh, the guest. Oh, I understand. Yeah, and also, dude, the West Bank. Well, I mean, it got it, Marissa. Got it. I appreciate you being here, seriously. It means a lot. Yeah, obviously, like, we know what's going on in Gaza. The West Bank stuff, dude, is like, bro. That shit is all so fucked. Chud, please stop. Please stop spamming my chat, please. That's right. Common sense. I have the honor to be. Yo, Fee, good to see you. How are you? No, I'm sorry, Noodle. I'm sorry to hear that. Seriously. Genuinely. Thanks for being here. Monica, happy Friday. Yo, thanks, Allie. Appreciate you. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys, listen. Oh, shit. I accidentally, my YouTube still exists. I literally turned on all the strict modification, then nothing happened on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to have to fix this. I expect the willingness to converse. Appreciate you a lot. All right, guys. Listen. I love all of you, truly. You're the best. Laura, good to see you. Thanks for being over on YouTube. You're too patient sometimes. Truth says over on YouTube. I know. People tell me that. It's probably true. I appreciate you. We'll get YouTube under control because we have... By the way, I just want to point out to YouTube, people keep saying like the moderate... Jesus. My God. Get some mods. I know it's really bad. Just if you find it interesting, like the spam that you are seeing is like the same 2 people. And I know that sounds crazy, but they have like 84 different accounts and it's really creepy. So don't worry. Next time it'll be better. This was fun. Yo, Ray, thanks for being here. Love is love. Cold. Get some rest. Good night, Chris. Yo, Felicia, thanks for being here. Good night. Sleep well. Rhea Raya, all mod? Yo, W's Rhea Raya. Actually, I appreciate that so much. I'll make you mod. If I can. Yo, Dubs. W, thank you, Rhea Raya. Yo, thank you guys so much. Okay. Common sense. Well, maybe next time. I'm too tired. Maybe next time. I have the honor. Cheryl. I saw Hamilton in New York like very recently. So, Mateo mod. Mateo, I'll make you a mod. You on YouTube too. Thanks for being here. Taylor, thanks for being here. Nanny, thanks. You're so kind. I'm 46 years old, young man. Jay, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. Dude. I'm actually like so tired. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate every single person tonight. Like, it was crazy. The support was overwhelming. The viewership was killer. You guys are the best. I love every single person, both on YouTube and TikTok. You can follow me all platforms. If you're on TikTok, I've been posting a lot on YouTube. You can check that out. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, fucking Substack, I guess. I mean, I just post my YouTube videos on Substack. Where else am I? Can you please make me mod for YouTube? The comments are not being very respectful. Rhea Raya, done. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for the 75 cents. Can we get a million W's in the chat for Rhea Raya, truly? Yo, Maria, that's really kind. First time seeing you and really liked your energy. Maria, I think that's Maria. Maria, I really appreciate you. Seriously, it means the world. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed. You know, the energy's up and down. People will see the true flows of Chris. I start out, I'm like, okay. And then we go up and I get really hot and I have some crazy debate and I'm super fucking angry. And then I'm kind of angry, and then I'm here. I'm like, all right, I'm out of energy. Jen, good night. Thanks for being here. Cal, you're everywhere. Carrie, you're the best. I love you, Carrie. You're so kind. W in the chat for Carrie. Thanks to all my amazing mods. Truly couldn't do it without you. Maui, I love your hair color. I love you. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. My mood shits every day. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Minecraft, dude. Minecraft's been one of my longest supporters, along with a lot of the mods in here. Jack Ryder's mom, Bren, Carrie, Taylor. Minecraft, so good to see you. Hope you're well. LeBron is not trash. Excuse me. Chill to Rage is sweet. Rhea Raya, thanks for being a mod over on YouTube now. Give me some W's for Rhea Raya. Like, post something, subscribe. I'll be posting some YouTube videos tomorrow. You guys are the best. Oh, that was really hard, Ray. I'm not going to lie. I was crashing out on that one bad. I was crashing the fuck out. I love you guys over on YouTube. Truly, everyone on YouTube is the best. Thanks for watching these streams. Let me know in the comments too on YouTube if you guys watch these after they're done. I'm curious. And thanks for all the love, Soul Music. I really appreciate you. Oh wow, Soul Music sent several $5 donations. I actually think I missed that. I really appreciate you. Soul Music, $15. Can you get a million W's? I really appreciate it if you're still here. I love you guys so much. If you're so confident, look up evidence. Don't run. Exactly, Soul Music. Exactly. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I've seen a few VODs, yo, Dubs. I think that guy owes you $1,000. That's what many people are saying. I love you, by the way. You're my goat. Kayla, you're amazing. All right, guys. Good night, everybody. Cheryl, thanks for being here. From the bottom of my heart, I love each and every one of you. I can't say it enough. I'm so incredibly grateful to be able to do what I do. And every day I wake up so grateful for all of you. So thank you. I hope everybody has a great, great, great Friday. Be safe out there. Do something fun. Do something kind for yourself. You deserve it. I'm proud of each and every one of you. And I mean that. Keep waking up, putting your best foot forward. You should be proud of yourself. I'm going to bed now. We're going to check out on YouTube. YouTube, I love you. Good night. I actually